man. You
I
ain't.
know. Welcome everybody to Fantasy Football Show Week 10. Man, we were just talking about this a couple of seconds ago. Can't believe it's Week 10 of the NFL. It's been going by so fast. We got Jason on the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the invite. Glad to be back, brother.
Definitely. We got Nathan Ramachandra. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you for
tonight. He's he's celebrating Diwali, so thank you for coming through even on this festival and holiday for you. But man, we got Week 10. It's been a great couple of shows we've been doing with the Fantasy Football Show. Join in with your questions. We'll be talking about our teams. We're talking about some fantasy football news, and then also we'll be talking sitter starts. Let us know if you got any questions, and we'll talk about some other players that we may have. So let's go ahead and kick it off and talk about some fantasy football news. Number one, Christian McCaffrey is out. If you weren't aware of that, if you guys were like sleeping under a bridge or something, I don't know, if you play fantasy football 9 times out of 10, you would probably know that, but he's out. Also, bye weeks. We got the Chiefs is on a bye week, Cowboys on a bye week, Jets and Falcons are all on bye week. So no Chiefs players. So that means no Patrick Mahomes. That means no Edwards-Helaire, no Kelsey. So in the tight ends are going to be very interesting this week. That's something we'll touch on too, because you don't have Kelsey, you don't have Kittle, you don't have some of these top tight ends that you would normally use, in most situations. Yeah. But Jason, I'll go to you first. Talk about your team this week and what you have coming up on your roster.
Yeah, I picked up a few, other than obviously our fantasy leagues and whatnot. Here's what I did, obviously trying to spend money in the right place and whatnot. But I like Goff, obviously, going against Seattle's defense. So I had to pick him up along with Robert Woods. I figured that'd be a nice combination. It's been working all year long. I like Landry in this game. Cleveland playing against Houston's defense. I think that he may be somewhat of a sleeper who can get you a few points. OBJ around, obviously. Watch out for Zach Moss in this game against Arizona. All right, I think that's, they give him the goal line carries. They're giving him even more carries to Singletary at some point. So that's going to be a high-scoring game altogether. So I'm kind of liking him. I like Keenan Allen this week. And, I like Noah Fant. I know we were talking a little bit about that. I like Noah Fant a lot in this game. I think it's a really good matchup. It's against Vegas. And if you're looking for a sneaky sleeper defense, dude, I'm liking Detroit against Washington this week. Like if you're looking low-end money and you're trying to spend more on your flex guy or something like that, like I did with DeAndre Hopkins, again, high-scoring game with Buffalo, Detroit could do something for you this weekend against Washington. They're nothing solid on offense, as we know.
Yeah, and also I'll throw Philly in there. I'm not a Philly fan at all, but when it comes down to DraftKings, they got a pretty good matchup with them. Going up against the Giants. So Philly.
Two words, Boston Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and kind of a sneaky pick, Alshon Jeffrey is back. He does appear to be healthy. Him, Fulgham, you don't know who's going to get the majority of the touches, but Miles Sanders, I believe, is back as well. So there's a lot of interesting pickups that you can make. But Nathan, talk about your team this week and what you have.
Yeah, so I'm 4-5, like I said before. So I'm starting Deshaun Watson over Breeze this week. I feel like against Cleveland, I think Cleveland's defense is kind of suspect. So I feel like Watson will have a great game tomorrow. And then I have Jamal Williams starting for Green Bay, the running back. And then Hasty from the 49ers. And then Hopkins. I got Hopkins starting. I got Mike Evans starting. And then Jimmy Graham at tight end because of Kelsey's bye week. And then I picked up Fulgham from the Eagles. I picked him up for the slot. So he's starting on the slot, and then I have Robbie Gould starting our kicker, and then the Packers defense. So that's my lineup for tomorrow. But the one that's killing me right now is McCaffrey. I have him on my. I need him healthy, but obviously he's injured again. So that's what's killing my team right now.
Yeah, and everyone, I hope you didn't cut Mike Davis because he is coming in handy. I did not cut him, thank God, because the fact is, and I've said this, and I want to get you guys' opinion too, is that CMC is a smaller running back. So he is going to be injured. He is not a Derrick Henry type where he can just push people around. He is quick, he is fast, he's elusive, but he's so small that 9 times out of 10 he's going to end up getting hurt. And I think that's just the real that people overlook, and they put him on this running back pedestal. But hopefully you guys didn't cut Mike Davis, because he's going to come in handy. I got him starting this week. We got our first question in the building. Get on my level. Thank you for coming through. He's on YouTube. He says, should I play it safe with Duke Johnson or play risky with Darnell Mooney? That's a great question.
Oh, wow.
That's a great question. And I'll say that's a great question because I have Darnell Mooney on DraftKings, which he's been getting quite a few touches. But Jason, I'll go to you first. What's your thoughts on this?
That's a tough one, just because of the matchup. I feel, obviously David Johnson is nothing to write home about. So I think Duke Johnson may get a lot of tosses out of the backfield. Again, this is going to be one of them high-scoring games that we talked about. So I figure there's a lot of points back and forth. He may be the safer bet because he's going to be in the game. So I would probably lean that way. But it is close. I ain't going to lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is close. I like Duke Johnson's the style of play he is, and he obviously is a great running back. But Darnell Mooney, this is an intriguing player. I really like him too. So it's a really good problem to have on the team. So I think if I were you, I would pick the safe bet, which is Duke Johnson.
Yeah, that's the same thing I would do too. Mooney's last week he had 16.4. He's been getting some passes from Foles, so he seems to be a target. But if you compare the projected points, Mooney is 8.32, and then Duke Johnson is 13.5. So I will go with Duke Johnson in this scenario. I think you do want to play it safe because if you start to get a little risky, that could cost you big, and Mooney could give you nothing, and you could be in a bad situation. But the Texans are playing Cleveland, so Cleveland's not that great defensively. So I think you got to roll with Duke Johnson on that one.
Yeah, me too. And real quick, I was going to say, you can go that way with Mooney if you have other guys that you're sure about that are going to get you double digits or whatever. But again, that is a risky move, so I'd rather go safe. But you got other big guys around there, then okay, give it a chance depending on what position you're in. But I think we're all on Johnson with this one.
Yeah. Let me give a shout out to Kevin Gray. Thank you for coming through. He says, "What up? Let us know if you got any questions on your fantasy team." Man, he's doing big things. I always say this. He's working at 105.3 The Fan here in Dallas.
Yeah, so, man, that's awesome.
He's been doing his thing, man. I'm really happy and proud of him.
Great.
So let's go through each spot, and we'll get the questions as we come through. But at the quarterback spot, you're missing out on, like we mentioned, Matt Ryan is a great guy in fantasy, so you're missing out on him, and you're missing out on Patrick Mahomes. So people may be asking, what are some QBs you can look at this week? A couple that I have that I would say is Teddy Bridgewater, number one, going up against Detroit. I don't really trust Detroit, and also I think Teddy B has been playing pretty well this year against all types of defenses. So I think you can go with him, and then Kirk Cousins going up against who are they playing this week? They're playing Chicago this week. Kirk Cousins is a tricky pick.
Yeah.
But if you're kind of struggling, you gotta find someone, that could be someone that you could go with. So I would possibly go with those two. And the last one I would say is Alex Smith, which I would not run towards Alex Smith because he's not there yet. And I don't know if he'll ever be there yet, unless you want to just pick him up as a sympathy pick. But Nathan, talk about some QBs that.
So in my friends league, we have Jared Goff available if someone wants him. We have Big Ben available if someone wants him. And then we also have Carson Wentz, Baker Mayfield, and then Teddy Bridgewater, and then Drew Lock available. So those are the quarterbacks available in our league right now.
That's interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
And Drew Lock. That's quite a few people. I think you're in the 8-team league, right?
8-team league.
Yeah. So yours is pretty flexible there. Let me give a shout out to my man Jay Ray. He's tuning in
What's up?
On Periscope. All right, Jason, what's your QBs?
Well, when we're looking at that Eagle-Giants matchup, you can probably go with either quarterback maybe in that one, to be honest with you. They're going to be tossing the ball, Daniel Jones, Carson Wentz. So, both of those guys will maybe probably get you 20 points this week, even if they throw a couple of picks. They're going to be some high scoring. A sneaky one may be Nick Mullins from the 49ers. I ain't just saying that because I'm a Niner fan. But the fact that they're probably going to be playing from behind, he's going to get some points. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you look for him to give you some sneaky, weird fantasy points. But I do like him also, and I certainly like, again, that Bills-Cardinals matchup. Go with either one of them if you can possibly get Kyler Murray on your team. If you're doing, daily fantasy or whatever it is and stuff like that, go with him for sure. And I would say Joe Burrow. People might want to go with Joe Burrow this week, and I love the kid, but not this time. Not against the Steelers. I think this is the time that you sit Joe Burrow.
It's gonna be too tough. I think for him this week, they're gonna throw everything at him, and he's.
You think my Tomlin ain't ready for him, man? Shoot.
Tomlin's been working on that all week. That'll be good there. Mm-hmm. And I think to your point, yes. When you talk about the Bills and the Cardinals going up against each other, start either one of them because they've been on fire. Both of them have just literally been on fire the entire season, and I don't think there's any stopping really either one of them until we're proven wrong.
Right.
And I don't think there's any stopping either one of those two quarterbacks. But I have Josh Allen in my DraftKings, so I'm definitely leaning heavily on him. And also, if you want to look at DraftKings, anybody on the Packers team this week, anybody, Aaron Rodgers is going to have a field day against Jacksonville, as well as whoever else is playing on that team is going to have a field day.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. And speaking of having to come from behind, whoever this James Luton dude is, I have no idea. He played quarterback for the Jaguars last week. Maybe he'll get you some sneaky, freaky fantasy points, man. I don't know having to come back. I had no idea who that dude was before last week, man.
Me either. I was like, who's this? Leighton? Lutton? Who is this guy? But hey, exactly. They're in a weird spot. They're having to play all types of random players right now.
The Jaguars are going to definitely draft a quarterback this year for sure.
Yeah, they could be tanking for Trevor.
Yeah,
who knows?
Yeah, they don't have to tank. They could just go out and play or try to play, and they'll get him anyway. Whether it's or Justin Fields. Justin Fields, man, I'll tell you, with Trevor not playing, people are starting to put him up higher right now, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's
deserved too.
Yeah, he's gonna be a top pick, no doubt. And he's got the skills, and he's playing the top competition, so he's gonna be up there. Shout out to my man Vince Wright, the sports governor. We call him the sports governor. He's a Minnesota Vikings fan. He says Vikings will beat Chicago Monday night. Woo! That's a testy pick right there, especially with your Vikings. Let us know if you got any fantasy questions. He's in the DraftKings league with myself and Courtney and a couple other guys. So let us know if you got any questions. All right, let's go to running backs. Which running backs is always an interesting spot, especially when you're looking at DraftKings or in your full season league. The question I want to start off though is Dalvin Cook. If you're in DraftKings, do you start him a third week? I know he's been on fire. They are playing Chicago. Chicago normally is pretty good at defense. Do you go with Dalvin Cook again, a third week in a row going up against Chicago? Jason, I go to you first.
All right. Yeah, and that's a good question. Look, obviously, if you got him, you got to start him. If we're talking about your fantasy league, you're not going to bench Dalvin Cook, obviously, but he's not a guy I'd go after and spend all that money on for a daily fantasy against Chicago's defense. Not saying that he won't have a decent game, but there's no 200 yards, 2 touchdowns coming up. It's not going to be like that because Chicago knows what's coming. They know they're going to run the ball, and they're not worried about Kirk Cousins throwing to Adam Thielen, maybe Justin Jefferson a little bit more, I understand, but I would stay away from again in daily. But if you got him on your team, you can't not start him.
Yeah, I mean, Dalvin Cook is on fire, man. He's I think in my opinion, one of the best running backs in my opinion in the league, and If you have him, start him. But the Bears defense is really good. But I still think Dalvin Cook could put up numbers against the Bears defense on Monday. So yeah, if I were the fantasy owner, start him. Start Dalvin Cook on Monday
for sure.
Yeah, he's been playing like a straight up beast, man. These past 3 games, particularly over 200, all-purpose yards over the past 2 games, and he's just been in rare form, and he broke his previous record, back-to-back weeks. So that just tells you that he's, only getting better. Derrick Henry, if anybody started Derrick Henry, he did have 106 yards, on Thursday, so that was a good plus when you look at the running back spot. But a couple of other guys to look at as far as running backs. Malcolm Brown of the Rams is a guy that you can look at. Nathan, you mentioned it. Boston Scott, you possibly him.
Words, Boston.
Yeah, we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. And then if you want to be tricky, you can pick a New England running back, but I would not suggest you do that because who's going to be the guy? I'm assuming it would be Damian Harris, but you also got to look at Burkhead, but was getting a lot of touches, so that's a little too tricky. I wouldn't go too far into that. But talk about some running backs, and also let me bring this up: Devontae Freeman is on IR, so I don't know who the running back is going to be for the Giants. I'm assuming probably
Gollman.
Yeah. So, but Nathan, I'll go to you. What's some running backs to look at this week?
In our league, we have Giovanni Bernard. David Johnson from Houston, and this guy from Seattle, the Dallas kid. What's his name?
DJ Dallas.
Yeah, he's available. And then the guy from Chicago, Nall. His name's Nall. And then Wayne Gallum is available too. And then Nakeem Hines is there. And then we got a lot of running backs available, but the main ones I would say is Bernard, David Johnson, Dallas, and then Gollman, and then Hines.
Okay. And to bring up another comment real quick before you go, Joe Mixon is out. He will not be playing this week.
Yeah.
So Giovanni Bernard is definitely a guy that you need to pick up. But go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You took the words out of my mouth. That one right there. So that's a great call by you. Goldman's not a bad guy to go with. Look, DeAndre Swift maybe with the Lions. You may want to try him out against Washington. They got a pretty good defense, but they're looking to give him the ball more and more. Latavius Murray again against the 49ers. They're going to be handing him the ball off way more than Alvin Kamara is going to be getting the ball handed off. I mean, Kamara is going to be in the game a lot more, obviously catching passes, but Latavius Murray gets those goal lines and he gets a lot of sneaky runs. But I'll tell you one again. We go back to this Arizona Buffalo game. The fact that Kenyon Drake's probably not playing, and if he does, it'll be very limited. Chase Edmonds, man, go get him now.
Monster. That's a monster pickup right there.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is someone that you need to, because the games that I've seen him play, he's been spot on. He's been
electric, man.
Yeah.
Every time
he's got the skills.
Happens.
Yeah. Shout out to Walter Strong. Thank you for tuning in. Sean Fearing, he's jumping in on Facebook. David Johnson is out as well. So yeah, that means there you go. There you go with the Duke Johnson. Definitely. We got a question over in one of the message groups. I'm gonna put it up here so that you guys can see it. He said, I'm wondering if you'll sit Lockett for Fuller PPR. I have Nuke and Keenan Allen already in. Ramsey will shadow DK, so I'm leaning Lockett. And I would lean Lockett. And here's my reasoning is because it seems like third game, Lockett just goes off. And I think you made a great point here. The gentleman that gave us this question, David Webb, thank you for giving us the question. I think, yes, I think you start Lockett over Fuller.
Yeah.
And I think, yes, DK is going to be shadowed by Ramsey. I think you kind of answered your question there. But anybody want to jump in on that one?
Go ahead, Nathan.
All right. So if I were to start Lockett over Fuller, because Russell Wilson throws the ball to him more, and that's his safety blanket. And Lockett is having a great season too this year. So I would go Lockett over Fuller. Yep.
Yeah, I know Watson's loving Fuller lately, and again, we're talking about the Browns versus the Texans, so don't be surprised if he has a great day. But again, what you said, Ben, and this gentleman himself with the question, and Ramsey's going to be, trying to lock down DK all day. And I go back to Patrick Peterson in that game a few weeks ago, and he only had one catch for 17 yards. So I'm pretty sure Ramsey can do something similar. And Lockett is just one of the most underrated receivers in the league. And he had 200 yards, 3 touchdown game against the Cardinals a few weeks ago. He's capable of doing something crazy like that. So I like Lockett.
Yeah, I'll definitely go with that. And as this question comes in, Nick Chubb is active. That's also another thing that we got to mention.
Wow.
When we say running back. So if you kept Nick Chubb, you can bring him in. He seems he's going to be active now.
That trade is
how many touches he's going to get? How active he's going to be? That's going to be a good question. From Andrew, he says, I traded CMC and McLaurin for Hopkins, Chubb, and Gibson. Thoughts? Appreciate. Just subscribe. So you traded CMC, awesome, because he's not playing. So great. McLaurin, you may be missing, but you got Hopkins, who has the best hands in the league. You got Chubb, who's coming back this week, and then you got Gibson. I'm assuming you're talking about Antonio Gibson, I believe, of the Washington football team.
Probably.
Bro, you won that trade.
Yeah.
Easy.
First of all, let me whoever traded Hopkins, Chubb, and Gibson, was he high or something? Like, come on now.
I hope so.
What was that guy thinking?
Dude, you're right. Look, you can even swap CMC and Chubb out on that one. Now you're picking up DeAndre Hopkins and Gibson for McLaurin, and I love McLaurin. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, you won that trade, Andrew. Congratulations.
Yeah, by a long shot.
Open champagne bottle for that one.
Yeah, really. Yeah, get the champagne bottle out, man. You killed. And Chubb starting this week. It's hands down, you won that trade. And Gibson's a good running back. So, great. Man, wow. That person that offered that up, man, send them a fruit basket when they lose this season. Oh my God! Man. So that's at the running back spot. Let me go to my team. Let me let you know who I have starting at running back. My DraftKings. Let's see. So I got Dalvin Cook. I had to pick him up. Like if he can do anywhere near what he did last week, that would be good.
He's hitting the ball, so there you go. They're gonna feed him.
I would also say Ronald Jones. Now I know Ronald Jones and the Bucks didn't really have a good game, but they're gonna bounce back. And I think Ronald Jones was a value, so I think you can put him in. And then James Robinson of Jacksonville. The Packers are not that great defensively. They're like ranked 28th. So those are a couple guys. Andrew says, haha, all my league mates were giving me shit about it. Well, I mean, why? Like, that's on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the smart one, bro. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if you start shooting up the leaderboard over there, so you'll have the last laugh.
Yep.
Here we go. Question: PPR, Gallman or DJ Dallas? There we go. We just talked about this.
All right, with Gallman, I think, look, he's going to be the guy to get the touches, but they're going to be throwing the ball a lot more. So I don't love DJ Dallas. He got in the end zone last week. If he's their only guy, then Seattle's going to run the ball, obviously, and they'll throw out of the backfield. Yeah, I'd probably go with Dallas on this one. DJ Dallas.
Yeah, but Carson is hurt, right? Is that what?
Yeah, Carson's hurt. Carlos Hyde is out. They're screwed. I think you get Travis Homer or whatever, but that's about it.
I'm gonna go Gollman here. I feel like I think he's gonna have the reason why I picked Gollman is he's obviously, you just said Devontae Freeman is on IR. I feel like I know the Giants will throw the ball, but in certain if they want to win the game against Philly, they need to run the ball, and I feel like he can run. I think he can run the ball over Philly's defense. So I think Gollman could have a good game tomorrow.
Yeah, and Sean helping us out here on the bench, answering questions too. Go with Gallman. Dallas will be splitting carries with Travis Homer in all likelihood. I think I'm going to agree with you there. I think when it comes to the Giants, they're going to feed their running back because you cannot fully depend on Daniel Jones right now. So they're going to be handing the ball off. So I definitely agree there. I would go with Gallman. I think DJ has been getting the majority of the touches with all these injuries, so he could lean towards, getting more than Gallman, but I would go with Gallman.
Here's the one thing I worry about just with that with Gallman is, look, what if they get down by 14 points early? You know what I'm saying? He's not going to get the ball that much, and Seattle is going to be in the game no matter what the hell's going on, no matter how many points the defense gives up. So that would be my only reservation about that. But I'm with you 100%. I think Gallman should have a good game. But, again, they have more of a chance of being down early and him not having those opportunities. So that's my only reservation, guys.
Yeah. And those are all great points there. All right, so that's the running back spot. Any other running backs you guys are thinking about or looking at going into this? Yeah, I agree.
Don't love going against the Saints defense with running backs, but 49ers, Jerick McKinnon, again, he's going to be the only guy around getting the ball, so maybe you want to give him a shot.
Yeah,
did all right last week.
Yeah, good point. And I think also I had a guy in my league pick up J.D. McKissick. Now, I don't know, how many touches he's going to be getting, but that may be something. I don't even know what team he's on. He's on
with Antonio Gibson. He kind of splits sometimes. He'll catch the ball more, McKissick, out of the backfield, and Gibson will get more carries, more likely.
Yeah. So we'll see where that goes. All right, let's move on to wide receivers, which wide receivers are always an interesting spot, and you never know who's going to be playing or who's going to be available. And I'll kick it off. And you got the bye week, so that's definitely it's gonna hurt some of these leagues. But I think Daryl Mooney, which we just kind of mentioned him earlier, he could be definitely a sleeper guy. Alshon Jeffrey's coming back this week. Whatever he's gonna be getting some touches because he's probably the surest guy on the roster besides Fulgham. But I would expect Jeffrey to get something. Brandon Cooks has been pretty spot on this year. Yeah. He's been one of Watson's favorite targets. He had 17 points last week. He had 13 the week before that. Then he had 21. So they seem to, when it comes down to Deshaun Watson, he seems to go down the field early and often with Cooks. So I think you can look at those couple of wide receivers.
He started clicking.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right, Jason, I'll go to you.
All right, let's see. With John Brown being back, going back to that Bills Arizona game, go get him, man. Because Diggs, I'm not sure about his situation this week. So John Brown, I think he's going to get a lot of touches. That 49er game against the Saints, go get Emmanuel Sanders, man, because Michael Thomas is going to get a lot of attention. Emmanuel Sanders can do something, and then look at a couple of the other Green Bay wide receivers besides Devonta Adams, like Marquez Van-Der-Scantling. I can't pronounce his name, but he should be another guy getting some touches this week. So look for those. And, again, also look for the teams that are trying to come back in the game. And, like I said, Jarvis Landry is another one I like who isn't always a consistent starter, but I like him a lot in this game. It's Houston.
Okay. Sean says, I like Sterling Shepard versus Philly. That would be a good one. And then also his counterpart, Darius. Is it Darius something?
Darius Slayton. Yeah,
you're right. Darius Slayton. Sure.
Slayton will be another guy. But Nathan, go ahead.
Yeah. So the receivers that are available in our league is Cordell Patterson from Chicago. He's a Swiss Army guy, knife guy, gadget. And then you got Antonio Brown, so he's a free agent. Sterling Shepard he's a free agent in our league. Shepard, so if anybody wants him, DJ Shark from Jacksonville, and then Christian Kirk from Arizona is available too. So if you guys, I will go. I like Christian Kirk. I think he'll get some touches, obviously tomorrow with Arizona. So I think that's the way to go.
Yeah, and I like Christian Kirk. He's put up a couple of deep passes on my Cowboys that week. So
Yeah,
that's definitely
horrible. That was horrible.
that was one of the many horrible games. This year. Yeah, sure. So yeah, I think you can definitely look at that. One other guy, when you look at Denver, Patrick could be a guy. Judy is another one of those guys that man, he just was one of those freaking natures, one of those Alabama product wide receivers. So I think you can definitely look at him as well as far as wide receivers.
How about I'll give you a name, Higgins from the Bengals.
Yeah, I like him.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely like him. It's Tyler Boyd too. I mean, again, they may not put up a whole bunch of points, but those are the guys getting the ball when Burrow's passing.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what? Look what Jacoby Myers did last week. Cam Newton are freaking killing it right now. Let's see if they can keep that up, huh?
Yeah. Sean says Kurt will have a big day. 3 consecutive games putting up consistent fantasy points. Appreciate that. That's a great point. Also, like you said, Jacoby Myers, but then when you go to Buffalo, if you look at Cole Beasley.
Oh, Cole Beasley, yeah.
Sure.
Cole Beasley playing in the slot. A lot of these slot guys, him, Hunter, Renfro, Austin Humphreys. I don't know where they already played, but look at these slot guys. If you're looking for a value pick, most of the time they get touches.
That's right, no doubt. And hey, Lockett plays in the slot a lot too. That's where he makes the magic happen, man. He's going back to him. He'll have a nice game. So you got him, start him for sure.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's look at the tight end spot. And the tight ends are going to be an interesting spot this week because you don't have a lot of them that people would normally pick up. So I think Logan Thomas could be a guy for Washington. And the other guy I would look at would be Noah Fant. I mentioned him a little bit earlier. I think Noah Fant could have a good matchup this week. They're going up against the Raiders. And on the flip side, Waller on one side and Fant on the other.
Wow. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like how Denver does that 2 tight end system, like what New England used to do back in the day. But I really like Noah Fant. Fant is really improving his game a lot, and he's going to be obviously. I feel like he's going to be a star in the league coming up in the next 2 years or so.
Yeah,
I agree. He's got great athletic ability at tight end, no doubt.
Yeah. All right. Any other tight ends you guys are thinking of, or
in my league? Oh, you want to go? You go first, Jason. Go first.
No, go ahead. You finish, and then I'll go after you, brother. Go ahead.
All right, so in our league, we have Jordan Reed from the 49ers. If anybody wants him, he's available. And then we got Eric Ebron. We got Dallas Goedert available. We got Austin Hooper available too. And then we got Ingram from the Giants. We got Logan Thomas available. And then, that's pretty much it. But I would – whoever's available here, Austin Hooper is a good candidate here. And then I feel like Eric Ebron is a good candidate. Even Jordan Reed is a good candidate too. So,
yeah.
I certainly like Eric Ebron. I'm with you on that one. I think that he's pretty good for a touchdown game. I tell you again, a sneaky one with Detroit, T.J. Hawkinson. If he needs a tight end, he could do some good stuff. And I look at the Rams with the tight ends, how they like to use him. Gerald Everett could be a good guy this week,
and Tyler Higbee too.
And short, exactly, Tyler Higbee. So. You never know which one's going to get, the big game, but take a chance with one of them, I think. But Hawkinson's a guy that people they don't really talk about him, especially with Galladay having his troubles right now. They're throwing him the ball more. So he gets the ball in the end zone. So he's not a bad guy to pick up.
Yeah. And Hawkinson is definitely one of those guys because there's a lot of, there's a lot of sleepers at tight end, but you don't know who the guy is going to be. Also, Jisic from Miami.
Mike Gesicki.
Gesicki. Yeah.
Gesicki. That's another guy that could be getting.
Yeah, he's been playing great football too.
Yeah, could be getting some touches this week. I think that kind of sews it up. Kittle's on IR.
Yeah.
And Hawkinson is actually questionable, so we'll see what happens with him.
Oh, is he? Okay. I was unsure
And then we'll see what Gronk. We'll see if Gronk can bounce back this week. That was a horrible game.
Yeah,
he was dropping passes. Tom Brady just looked. That was the worst game he has ever had playing in the National Football League. It was just horrible all around. Just throwing like all types of weird passes that you just don't see him do. But that was the first time I think I've seen him like flustered to that degree. Normally he is cool, calm, and collected, but he looked flustered as hell.
I think a lot of it had to do with Antonio Brown, not Antonio Brown's fault at all. I think Brady's thinking, okay, let me make sure I get this guy in the offense, and let me make sure I get Evans his touches. And, they ran the ball 5 times in that game. How the hell are you supposed to win a football game? Yeah, run 5 times. So they were screwed from the get-go, man.
Yeah. Yeah, you cannot win a game like that when you're running the ball that limited amount of times, and you have Ronald Jones who's been playing lights out, and you have Fournette. They just completely forgot, and they just said, forget it. We'll just abandon the run, and we're just going to go all in on Brady, which in normal situations that would work out, but it did not work out this time.
And you know what? Shame on Brussarians. I didn't mean to jump on you guys over there. Shame on him because he's basically calling out look, you're the guy basically calling the plays, and you know that Brady is best successful when he's taking his 3-step drop and the ball's out of his hand. You can't be throwing the ball down the field all the time. They know what's coming. So they got to find that mixture that they had that was working during the middle of the season. Because what they did against the Saints was just, they made the Saints defense look like freaking Ravens to 2000. That was ridiculous.
True. All right, we got a question here from Thunder FF. He said, do you think Allen Robinson will play tomorrow? And then the second part, who should I start, Adam Thielen or Tyler Boyd? Two great questions. Let's look up Allen Robinson because I don't know what his status is.
Because if he's playing, he's a good guy to get to go.
Yeah. So it says knee is questionable for week 10. Normally, when someone's questionable, I try to shy away from them because you just don't know. It's one of those things you got to watch. And if you're one of those people that are watching it closely before game time, I would say put them in there, but just know that it could go sideways. The last update was today at 2:31, and he was listed as questionable, limited throughout all week, but it's still expected to play. When it comes to game time, what happens? But assuming that he does play, he's definitely a wide receiver too. So that's the first part of the question. Anybody want to add on to that?
Well, first of all, you're exactly right with what you say. Like, even though this player may give it a shot during game time, he could be done within the first 2-3 minutes of the game, especially if it's a hammy or something like that. So I'm totally with you. I stay away from the questionable unless, you're watching all week and it's just one of those precaution things. But this sounds different than that. So I'm scared of Adam Thielen. To be honest with this one, I'd be a little bit more happy with Justin Jefferson. So I'd probably lead Tyler Boyd, fellas.
Yeah, Tyler Boyd. I agree with you. Tyler Boyd is the way to go because Joe Burrow, he utilizes everybody. So I feel like Tyler Boyd will get a lot of touches. And for Thielen, I'm kind of because Kirk Cousins is inconsistent. Some games he'll be consistent, and the other ones too inconsistent. So I'll go with Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna go with Tyler Boyd too. And the thing about Burrow is that AJ Green is not one of his favorite targets. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but he likes Tyler Boyd and he likes Higgins. Those are his two guys he's been getting the ball to. So I would go with Tyler Boyd. I think Thielen is obviously he's a top wide receiver in the game, but you got just a questionable, quarterback, and you don't really know what to expect, game in and game out. Right. So I would go with Tyler Boyd.
Hey, they're in Chicago on Monday night. There ain't no dome. It's going to be cold out there. It's going to be a different story, man. They're probably going to be running the ball, like you said earlier.
Yeah. So that's thanks for that question. Keep the questions coming. We're here for another hour and 15 minutes. So we are here to help you, give you some fantasy football advice. And also when you come to when it comes to AJ Green, I thought he was going to get traded.
Yeah,
This kind of a sidebar conversation, but he supposedly the words out of his mouth was that trade me. And Cincinnati traded Dunlap. I don't know if they're going. I'm assuming they're going through a rebuild. Obviously, they got to try to build around Barrow, but I'm surprised AJ Green didn't get traded before the deadline. I don't know if you guys were surprised about that too.
I was really surprised because I think they're going to trade him in the offseason. So I feel like he needs a change of scenery and he needs to win. He needs to be on a competitive team. That will help him a lot. So I feel like he's a great fit for New England. New England really needs another receiver. So I think he'd be a good fit in New England, and he needs to be on a team where they're more obviously a championship team and a great coaching staff. So I think he's going to get traded for sure in the offseason, I think, in my opinion.
He's got to be healthy. That's why he wasn't traded. I think that's the bottom line. Like, I mean, he hasn't been trustworthy for 5 years in a row. Seriously. Like, training camp is a nightmare for this guy. They didn't even have it this year. And that's the reason why Joe Burrow and AJ Green don't have a rapport together, because he's not healthy. They can't even practice. Now he's just getting on the field. We'll see what happens. But the reason why he wasn't traded is because people looked at him like damaged goods. He ain't a kid no more. I don't know what he is, 31, 32. He's been around for a while.
He's getting up there.
Yeah.
So it's not like teams are dying to go get AJ Green and, especially pay the dude, so he may be in Cincinnati longer than he wants to, man.
he's 32 years old.
See, there you go. Yeah.
He's over that proverbial hump. When you get to a certain age in the NFL, people just start looking at you sideways. So that's where he is.
If they're going through a rebuild, why not trade him? Then if you're keeping him and not using him, it's useless.
What can you get? Fourth, fifth round pick if you're lucky.
Yeah, fourth round pick. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, whatever you get for him, at least do it before he has an injury, and then you got to keep him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the downside. All right. So shout out to Silas. I think that's Antetokounmpo. Thank you for coming through. on YouTube. Let us know about the name. Is that your real name, or did you kind of come about that name? But
related to Giannis, and definitely bring him on also, man. Come on.
Definitely. He said, should I trade my Jalen Hurts and Irv Smith for Cam Akers in a first round in a super flex dynasty league? I like that, man. That's a great question right there. Yeah, I also have Mark Andrews and Tanyan at tight end. Okay, so to answer the first one,
I don't know.
I'm not that all in on Cam Akers. I think Jalen Hurts is going to, eventually play. So this is a tricky one because
Irv Smith.
Irv Smith, I believe, is out. Let me pull it up and see. But that's a tough one right there because I believe Jalen Hurts is going to play, but you just don't know when.
Yeah,
you don't know when he's going to play. And Cam Akers is kind of a flip, as far as what he does with with the Rams. So
I think at this point you should just keep your first round pick and then keep the rest of the players and this ride it out with Jalen Hurts and see if he gets to play or not. So Irv Smith, I think he's out, right?
He's out this week.
Yeah, so I in my opinion, just wait till a better deal comes out and then just hold on to these players for at least this week. So and then go from there.
Yeah, I just flat out don't even love this trade, guys. I mean, Irv Smith, I thought he'd be getting the ball a lot more with Minnesota. He's not. Jalen Hurts, like you said, he could end up starting. Carson Wentz could go out any day, but having this first round pick, I don't know when you get it, but having Mark Andrews on your team is a beautiful thing. So you want to keep that guy. That's who Lamar Jackson loves throwing the ball to. Irv Smith is a major question. Yeah, I'm with you, Ben, on Cam Akers. They have 3 other running backs over there that they're giving it to. I would just not do anything because I just don't like the way this trade looks.
Yeah. And if you had to choose between Andrews and Tanyan, I would keep Andrews. If you want to somehow package Tanyan, in a trade deal, maybe later on down the line or with another package, do that. But Andrews is and especially in the red zone. I don't know between the 20 and the 20. I don't know how much he is a target for Lamar, but in the red zone, he loves Mark Andrews. Tanyan, I don't honestly, I don't trust any tight end for the Packers just because you just don't know who the guy's going to be, and they got Devontae Adams, and Aaron Rodgers is not stingy. He's not going to try to throw it to one guy in particular. He's going to get it to whoever's open. That could be Scantling one day, that could be Aaron Jones one day, that could be just a random slew of people.
Exactly. And their running backs get a lot of touches out of the backfield, whether it's a screen pass or, out in the flat or whatever between Williams and Aaron Jones. They catch the ball a hell of a lot too. So, yeah, you're right. They spread it around, man.
And also, one last point, Irv Smith is going to be the starting tight end in the future. Now, he's out right now, but he's going to be the guy that's going to get the touches. So, yeah, I just think you just stand back right now and not try to make any moves at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
All right. He says, no. So he's not related to Giannis. All right. I guess wishful thinking on our part, but that's good. All right. So we looked at tight ends. Let's look at defense for this week. And defense is hit or miss. You never know. I started the Steelers defense against the Cowboys thinking they would get 20 upwards points, and they didn't. They just flat out didn't, thanks to Garrett Gilbert.
Dude, Garrett Gilbert, man, he played a really good football, and he kept us in the game, and he was really composed in the pocket. And I think at this point, I think we should just stick with Garrett Gilbert as quarterback.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. I think at this point we have absolutely nothing to lose.
Yeah,
and he's better than the other two guys, at least from what we've seen in this sample size.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, what are you going to do? But I just got to ask you guys a really quick question in that game. Pittsburgh's got the ball way down. They're up 5 points. Obviously, you saw the game. That I know. The decision, Mike Tomlin to me is one of the top 3-4 best coaches in the league, and I was shocked that he didn't kick the field goal to go up by 8, knowing that Gilbert Grape needs to go, all the way downfield and get a 2-point conversion to win. Right. Instead, they go for it on 4th and 2, whatever it was, and then they don't get it. And all of a sudden, Dallas is in position to win this game. Pittsburgh, freaking 8-0 going in there. I was shocked by that, guys. Tomlin and his defense with 43 seconds left. You're not going to hold them off. Of course you are. Yeah. So. Yeah.
That was the wildest thing I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
The Cowboys even being in that game at all was just beyond shocking for me. But yeah, there was some questionable decisions made. Big Ben went out of the game, early, so that the Cowboys took advantage of that. But yeah, I was shocked.
I think this was the first game that we played a full, complete defense, in my opinion.
It did. It helped that Ben was out, but no, I don't want to take anything away from it. It was, finally a good performance. I don't know what the hell Mike Nolan's been thinking this whole time, but finally come together.
Oh my God, this guy, man! He was the guy that used to coach. He coached the 49ers.
Man. Yeah, yep.
The guy wearing the suits on the sideline.
I think we're gonna. After this year, we're going to get rid of him, I think, in my opinion. And we have to find a new defensive coordinator for sure.
I hope so, man, because this first half of the season has not been good at all. They've just been giving up monster points against everybody. Every single running back that's came in here has ran for 100 yards. No-name guys. So, yeah, I was shocked that he was brought in. I was thinking, hey, anybody else? I mean, anyone.
Let's bring back Chris Richard.
Yeah, I'll be okay with that, a defensive coordinator. And then we also got your guy, Jason, the defensive line coach, Tom Sula.
Yeah, Jim Tom Sula.
Yeah. Jim Tom Sula, which I don't know. I mean, he's maybe helped somewhat getting Alden Smith, maybe ready to play or something. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what's going on there. But yeah, these Cowboys, the rest of the season, give the keys to Garrett Gilbert. Tell them just don't crash the car, and we'll love you for it.
Doesn't he look like Sam Darnold a little bit though?
He does. He does a little bit.
Yeah,
he does. Yeah.
I got to get a better look. I was just surprised that guy was out there along with James.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
All right, we got another question here from my man Jack Young. He joined us last week. It's JY3. Thank you for coming through. Claypool or that's Devontae Parker. That's good.
I'm going Claypool over here. He obviously a great rookie season for him, and Ben likes throwing to him. So I feel like Chase Claypool would continue his great season, and Devontae Parker for me. But Tua, I mean, obviously Tua has 2 games in his career, so I'm going to go with the established with Claypool and Ben. So I'm going with Claypool.
Okay.
Tough to argue that. They got a lot of guys to throw to, Juju, Deontay Johnson, and whatnot, and who they go, up against the Bengals. So we'll see. They may end up running the ball out with Connor. I got to tell you, man, I know that Devontae Parker hasn't lit it up yet with Tua, but Tua impressed the hell out of me. He didn't dazzle me. He looks like a guy who's been playing for 5-6 years in the league. That's what it looked like to me. So I feel like Devontae Parker, one thing is he going to get shadowed by Patrick Peterson? That's the only question I have. If that's the case, you're in bad shape with Parker. But if you can find out before the game whether or not that's happening, I do like Parker. But otherwise, yeah, if Peterson's on him, then I'd have to go Claypool.
Yeah. And I'm leaning towards Parker because in this upcoming week, like you said, Claypool, Juju, Deontay Thompson, it's too risky on who's going to be the guy this week. Eric Ebron got a touchdown catch last week. So it's to me, it's too cluttered to go with Claypool. But you just never know who the guy is going to be, and that to me that makes me nervous. And if I was you, I would start Parker because I think he's probably going to get some looks. Tua is going to be able to throw him open from what we've seen so far, and they got Devontae Parker or Jakeem Grant, and so those are the kind of the 2 main guys.
And if you think about it, this Dolphins team, they can still win the division. By the way, it's
wild.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy the confidence on offense and defense that Tua coming in. It's kind of almost like a little spark underneath this defense. I mean, they've been creating turnovers like crazy.
Yeah, it's really something. I'm actually starting their defense in one of my leagues this week. Giving it a shot against the Chargers, and that's another thing. Their defense. They just got rid of Desmond King. They got nobody over there anymore. So Parker, he could have a field day against the Chargers, but yeah, we'll see. You know what? We'll see. We'll see who's locking down who. That's the thing. And when I said Patrick Peterson before, I'm sorry. I meant to take that back because I know the Dolphins are playing the Chargers, not the Cardinals. I got confused for a second over there. So taking that back with the Dolphins, Devontae Parker, I think, is going to have a sweet day. But you're right, Nathan. They do like to get Claypool the ball in different ways, even on end arounds and stuff like that. So it's a tough one. But against that Charger defense, man, Devontae Parker, yeah.
All right. Let's go to defenses here, which I'm starting the Philly defense. They're projected to bring in quite a few points. But if you want to start at the top, obviously the Steelers going up against Cincinnati. They're going to be all over Burrow, like we mentioned earlier. The Ravens, the Ravens are, if you're looking at DraftKings, they're second on the list. They're going up against New England. I'm expecting the Ravens to have a good game. Yeah. The Packers are a solid pick. You're going up against Jacksonville. Like, I don't need to say anything else.
I'm starting the Packers defense in my league, so I got them.
Lots of picks.
Yeah, I don't think you need to say anything else about the Packers. But Jason, any other defenses you can think of?
Few sneaky ones, like the Lions against Washington. As I said that earlier, they could be kind of sneaky. The Dolphins we just talked about. There's a lot of good games this week. the Saints look like a good defensive start, but like I said, the Niners score a lot of points later on. You definitely go with the Steelers. And listen, I would start the Chicago Bears against Minnesota this week. I know, again, Monday Night Football, it's outside in Chicago. If Minnesota is going to score at all, it's going to be in the run game. And if Kirk Cousins is throwing the ball more than 25 times, you could look for a few turnovers. So you might want to look at Chicago this week.
Yeah. And so if you had to pick Ravens or Eagles, which I think both of these could be interesting, if I had to pick one, I would say Eagles, because I think the Eagles are gonna feast on Daniel Jones and whatever mistakes he makes. But what would you guys say, Ravens or Eagles defense?
That's a tough one because they're both playing teams that are inconsistent right now. So I'm gonna go with Baltimore. I feel like they have a chance to. I know that Cam Newton likes to run a lot, and the Ravens are really good at run defense. So I feel like the Ravens will be able to stop Cam Newton from running the ball. So.
Okay.
This is tough, guys, because the way you get points on defense is turnovers and touchdowns. Mostly touchdowns, really, if you can get lucky, and that's obviously hit or miss. You can't call that, but I would think actually the Eagles probably have a better chance of getting more points this week because Daniel Jones is going to turn the ball over, whether he fumbles or throws an interception. And the Patriots are, they don't have a great offense by any means, but at least they're somewhat sound where they're not going to turn the ball over. But the Ravens have a better defense, there's no question. But in this game, I think Philly is going to get more points.
Okay.
Yeah. So a couple of defenses in our league that we should look out for here. Obviously, that's available. Eagles is available in our league. We got the Saints defense available. We got the Dolphins defense available if anybody wants them. We got the Bears defense available, Giants defense, and then Vikings defense available. So.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, let's we got a question here. We have Matt Breda, shout out to Dad22, Matt Breda, Zach Moss, or DJ Dallas, which we talked about DJ Dallas.
Yeah.
Jason, you talked about Zach Moss, and then Breda. So that's an interesting one there. I'll let you go first, Jason.
First of all, I love that the Twitter, the name right there, Dad22. That's freaking awesome. Number one. It's a good question. Matt Breida, look, I had him for a couple of years, so I know what he's capable of, but I feel like they don't give him enough chances. Like I said, I do like DJ Dallas. Relatively speaking, overall, I got to go Zach Moss, man. I just have to. I know they're going to run the ball, the Bills. Yes, of course, they're going to throw it. You can get pass interferences in the end zone where he just takes it in for a touchdown and gets you 6 points right there. That can happen a few times in the game. So I think I would go with Zach Moss out of all these guys.
Yeah, I agree. Zach Moss is the way to go right now.
Yeah. I think we're going to have a clean sweep here. I'm going to go with Zach Moss too. Breda is questionable, so that could possibly be an issue. Zach Moss projected to get 7.59. This is in Yahoo leagues. And then DJ Dallas, which our good friend mentioned earlier, that he's probably going to be splitting carries with Travis Homer, who's now back, and he's not projected to get as much. So I think you got to go with Zach Moss there. Breda, I know Breda is a good running back, but you just don't know when it comes to Miami and what their flow is going to be. But he is questionable, and let me check and see his Gaskin. Gas is on IR, so I don't know who if Breda doesn't play since he's questionable. I don't know who's going to be getting the looks. Let me go to the depth chart. I'm gonna guess DeAndre Washington would be the guy. They got Howard on the team too, so who knows.
I don't know what the heck they traded him for. They don't use him, Jordan Howard. I don't.
Yeah, I don't get that. Why?
He's a good back. He's not great and dominant, but look, you traded for the guy. I know it wasn't like a blockbuster, but give him the damn ball, man. I mean, that guy, he can run. He can run. I don't know why they don't use him. I'm with you, Ben.
Yeah. All right, we got another question. I don't know. It says, "Do y'all like Negroes?" I don't know. Okay. We'll go ahead and skip over.
Wait, Jordan Howard is in Miami, right? Or
he is in Miami. You gave us a good laugh. That's FBGM John on on Periscope. Appreciate that one.
Oh, God.
All right, let's go to the injury list here. Allen Robinson, which we talked about, he's questionable for Monday night. He gets an extra day, if that possibly helps him or not, as far as being healthy. Nick Chubb is officially active, so I would say start him immediately if you got him. Big Ben is off the COVID list, and that sucks with the Steelers team and the Cowboys. The Cowboys had to go on somewhat of a lockdown, this week also with Vance McDonald was the one that ended up catching it, and he was in everybody's face now. So it looks like it didn't spread it. So Noah Fant's going to suit up. We talked about him. Tim Patrick's going to be good to go. Jerry Jeudy is questionable.
Mm-hmm.
Miles Sanders will play Sundays. If you got Miles Sanders, might as well go in and play him. And then Antonio gets
2 words, Boston Scott.
Yeah.
He's all up once. Miles Sanders is one of those guys, man. He could touch the ball.
Oh, no, yeah. Miles Sanders,
he came on at the end of last season or midway point.
Right.
Oh, Mel, he's a pretty good player, man.
Yeah. I mean, he could get one and just run for 70 yards.
Yeah, this guy's electric.
Right. One of those type of guys. All right, we got another question from Dad22. Should I start Justin Herbert or Watson because of the weather? All right, great question there.
Yes, we're in Cleveland with with Watson and then Herbert, coming down here to beautiful Miami. I can tell you guys it's rained every day. Noah's Ark City down here, all right, for like a week straight. There were floods all over. But if it's a nice day, that does change things. Cleveland, you're not going to get the best weather. I do like Watson, though, and he can play in any weather. Oh, wow, it's a toss-up, guys. This one's tough, man. I don't think Herbert's going to have his greatest day in Miami. I really don't. And Deshaun Watson's just so damn special that I have to lean his way.
Yeah. For example, like I said earlier, I'm starting Watson in my league, so over Breeze. So I'm starting Watson over Breeze, especially against Cleveland, and I feel confident in Watson that he's going to go out there in Cleveland and put up the numbers that he expects to do. And depending on the weather, I think he's going to ball out against Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Watson too. I think Herbert has been playing well this year. I definitely agree that he's been something special to watch this year. But the Dolphins defense has been on a roll. They're playing in Miami, and I think this is going to give Miami a huge boost of confidence. But I'll have to go with Watson, and I think it's going to be a shootout too at that. Yeah. So it's going to be a back and forth, and Watson's going to be running for his life because he does every single game. So project him to get at least 50 yards rushing because he has to. Man, that's just the fact.
You got a good problem to have there with this one. Yeah. I think either way you go, you're going to be all right. The Chargers ain't going to run the ball that much. We know that. So we know Herbert's going to throw, and he may get picked off a couple of times, but he's probably going to be in that 300-yard, 2-touchdown range. So you're all right either way you go. But again, I'm with you guys. I would lean Watson.
What's up, Courtney? Courtney's in.
Hey, Courtney.
Courtney in the building. Thank you for coming through. We had a great show earlier today.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for coming through tonight. All right, so we got another question here from Jake. Jake from State Farm.
Jake, hey, by the way, that was my Halloween costume this year. Jake from State Farm.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, I did see that too, man. I did see that. That was a good one. Pick 2. He says Hunt, Evans, or Shepard full PPR.
Like Sean mentioned earlier that he likes Shepard against the Eagles, and that's one you can look at. I agree with Sean. Shepard is. I think he'll put up the numbers against Philly tomorrow. But Hunt and Evans is intriguing too. But I might have to go Shepard. I'm gonna go Shepard and Hunt here.
What would you do, Ben? I'll go after you, bro.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say Hunt. Hunt is, to me, is hands down. I think you got to go with him. And then let me look at. I think I'm gonna actually go with Evans. I think with Shepard, I don't know how many looks he's gonna get, and I know the Eagles defense is gonna play them tough. So I would have to go with Evans. And I think Evans. I think the Tampa Bay is gonna have a bounce back game. Last game was not good at all, but they're gonna bounce back. I think big and strong. So I'm gonna go Hunt and Evans.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty close with you. Look, Evans is definitely on my list because there was all this chatter this week about him not getting enough looks and targets and all that. So I'm pretty sure Brady's going to make him happy this week in Carolina. So to me, he's number one. Shepard versus Hunt, obviously Nick Chubb coming back, so he's going to take some carries away from Hunt, even though I think, again, back and forth. And the thing about Shepard, you're right. I'm not sure if Golden Tate is good to go this week, but if it's just Shepard and Darius Slayton, yeah, you may want to look Shepard, but I'd probably go a little more safer with Hunt, knowing that Nick Chubb's not going to get a whole ton of carries, and the fact that Hunt does get plenty of action in the game. And again, going against the Texans defense. So I'd probably lean Hunt and Evans, but Shepard's not a bad call either.
Yeah. And you brought up Golden Tate. He's gonna be back this week. He was inactive because of kind of a back and forth, that he was having with the organization. So that's gonna take away looks. Slayton's gonna take away looks. Ingram's gonna take away looks. So to me, and when you look at Tampa Bay, Evans is the top wide receiver on the team, so he's gonna get more looks, I think, over anybody. So I think you got to go Hunt and Evans there.
Yeah, I agree.
Shout out to Aiden Barrett. Thank you for coming through. I think he jumped in our past couple shows, so thank you. Courtney, what defenses you guys like this week? You kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but we did talk about your Eagles. We did talk about them. We talked about the Steelers. We talked about the Dolphins. I mean, there's quite a few. Ravens,
Packers, Packers too.
Packers for sure. So those are some. Silas Antetokounmpo is back. He says, "Who's y'all's top dynasty trade target?" That's a great question there.
I've not been a part of a lot of dynasty leagues. I don't even know if I've been a part of any, but I'm not exactly sure how it works. But if you, get one of these young quarterbacks, man, if Kyler Murray is in that somehow, he's probably a guy I would stick with all the way. He's going to be running. He's going to be throwing for a lot of years to come because he knows how to not get hit. He doesn't take these big shots, kind of like Russell Wilson. And you live in this game after him a little bit. So I would go there, and you got to look at young running backs. Never go with the older running backs, the 28, 29-year-olds. Forget about them. Go with the younger running backs. Josh Jacobs may be a guy you want to take for a while. So, I'm not 100% with the Dynasty League guys, so I may rely on you more with that, how it works.
Yeah, so basically it gives teams the opportunity to have a team from year to year.
Oh,
so
wow.
You'll have them for 1 year and it continued. So I think, some targets that you got to look at is some guys that are either injured right now or some guys that just got signed. So I think for sure, if you want to look at, depending on how things go, you can look at Antonio Brown. If he blows up and there's no issues out of him, I guarantee you somebody will sign him for next year. I think also another guy to look at will be Dez Bryant, depending on what happens with him. If he blows up this year and you're like, wow, Dez Bryant is the same as the old Dez Bryant. And I think, like you said, Jason, you got to look at young players. So that comes down to Jalen Hurts, which I think you have Jalen Hurts, Silas. But that comes down to the Kyler Murrays of the world. That comes down to Tua. That comes down to some of these, really young quarterbacks. But I would definitely say target Tua, because if Tua's getting the experience now, be on the lookout for next year because he's going to be even better, bearing injuries.
I'll ask you guys, on this topic, Saquon Barkley being hurt, do you even take a risk on him or what? If you're in one of these leagues, I don't know.
For me, I need to see him fully healthy before taking a gamble on him. He needs to be fully healthy and ready for training camp, and that's the only way as a fantasy owner, especially in a dynasty league. You have to have players fully healthy. So
yeah. Got to stay.
Let's look at the. I was going to look at the injured reserve list, but it's like way too long, so I'm probably not going to do that. But you can look at Dak. Dak has not been injured, ever, at all in his career. This was a complete horrible injury, but he is on the right track for coming back. So
they're saying he's ahead of schedule now. So.
And who knows, depending on if the Cowboys fumble this thing, he may not even be a Cowboy. You may be on a different team this year, which could possibly work to the advantage of. So I would. Those are some people I would look at. Jack Young III, Wentz or Stafford? That's a good question.
Yeah, this week that is an interesting one, fellas. Huh?
Who's the Lions playing this week?
They got Washington.
Washington
is okay, but
they're playing in Detroit too.
Right, they're playing in Detroit. They're playing. You know what? Damn, the Giants' defense is better than people think. I mean, they really are. Maybe I don't know Galladay's status right now, but you still got Marvin Jones and Hawkinson throwing the ball to Swift out of the back. I might lean Stafford in this one. I know it's tough, but in the dome, I might go that way.
Yeah. This is a tough one.
It is tough.
Let me look at the projected points here.
Look at it before.
Stafford is 22.59. Wentz is 24.98. Personally, I will go with Wentz. He's getting back a major target in Alshon Jeffrey. The problem was, and the knock was that they're not healthy. Well, you add in one of your main targets, I think it could go great. Goddard is also back. I like Stafford, but Stafford did go out. Didn't he go out with an injury last week? I thought.
I think so.
So I mean, who knows what his health? I think he's going to be healthy enough to play.
Well, he's playing. But yeah, you're right. God, Wentz. I know. I hear what you're saying, man. I do.
I don't like Wentz, believe me. But if I had to pick between these two, I think I would go Wentz. Nathan, were you gonna add on that?
I think. I mean, projected points doesn't really matter. So depending on how many points they put up, but this is really. I'm gonna go Wentz.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think because Snap coming off an injury, I think you don't know where you're gonna get. But you can go either way. But I'm gonna go Wentz.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Aiden Bryant's got a good question. I traded Jacobs and Andrews. Okay, so Jacobs and Andrews for Hill and Waller. Do you think I won this trade or no? Also, should I feel comfortable starting Chubb this week? Have you heard anything regarding his workload this week? Great questions there. So, Josh Jacobs and Andrews for Hill. We're talking about Tyreek Hill. I'm assuming that's Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, probably.
And Waller.
Wow.
I think you won that trade. Waller, Andrews can be kind of hit or miss. I know he's, like I mentioned earlier, he's one of Lamar's favorite targets, but Tyreek Hill is money. Tyreek Hill is going to get his. I don't care what defense it is. He's faster than every DB in the league. And Waller seems to be one of the favorite targets of
Carr for sure.
Carr. So I think you won it. What do you guys say?
Go ahead, Nathan. You first.
I'm gonna say this again. The other guy, whoever did this trade, was high also. So I think he won the trade. Obviously Josh Jacobs is a great running back, but you get an established player in Tyreek Hill where that he's going to get you points, and Mahomes obviously loves throwing to him. So you won the trade, and Waller is a great tight end. I love Waller as a tight end. I love the way he plays, and it's a win. It's a win trade. He won the trade.
Guys, I think we can all agree again. These people must be doing something right. Because here's the thing: I love Josh Jacobs, but he's a running back. He's going to likely get hurt more than Tyreek Hill, who's basically what you're swapping for. It looks like you need a running back, and the other dude needs a wide receiver. Mark Andrews, Ben, you hit it. He can get 0 points or have a 15-point day.
Right.
Waller is the number one target on that team over any of the wide receivers, Seth Roberts, I don't care who you name, Nelson Aguilar, doesn't matter. So health-wise, Hill and Waller over Jacobs and Andrews, who Jacobs I love again, but that's a running back who's going to not get better. He's going to get worse when he gets into a couple of years or whatever. But again, Andrews, too much hit or miss with him. Waller's almost a guaranteed thing. And Tyreek Hill is a guy in his own category. So, yeah, well done. I think you won that one.
Yeah. All right, next part of that question. Should you feel comfortable starting Chubb this week? Who wants to jump in on that?
If you don't have anybody else, then you got to start him, obviously. But if you have somebody is getting you solid carries this week and can put up points, and then go with that guy. But Chubb, you're all right starting him, but Kareem Hunt's going to get a lot, and they're just working Chubb back in. Doesn't mean he's not going to score, but, if you have somebody else who's solid, I would go with that guy first.
Yeah. And
from what I'm reading here, he is slotted. Obviously, he's coming back, and they're playing the league worst Texans run defense. So even if they're splitting, he may get some goal line. He may get some goal line touches just to see what he has. But yeah, they're going to split. But I would feel comfortable starting Chubb. If there was any doubt, if there was like he's questionable or we're still worried about it, but that's nothing that I've heard. Stefanski said it will be determined once he meets the team doctors. This was on the 13th, and then as of today, it says he's been activated and he's ready to go. So,
yep.
The last, okay, so that's that question. Sean says go Stafford, which we've got kind of a two versus one on that one. Yeah. Any information on David Johnson? I have him in one of my leagues and didn't know what was up. I already had a concussion, but can that sideline you?
I think Sean said David Johnson's out, right?
Yeah. Sean mentioned that earlier. He is out. So you got to go with the other Johnson, man. You got to go with Duke Johnson.
Yeah, Duke Johnson.
I'm sure he's, probably see if he's available. I'm sure you can probably pick him up in most leagues at this point because there are not a lot of people going after him. But yeah, he did have a concussion. He is out. I think that answers that question there. And yeah, concussions. I heard he had a concussion, but can that sideline you for 3 weeks? Yes. The answer to that question is yes, because if they cannot pass the concussion test, if they cannot get through the concussion protocol, then yes, they can be out for a longer period of time because when you get a concussion, it can affect you beyond like the next week. We've seen it with different players. So,
yep, and that's the one thing that the league is really big on is the concussions. Obviously with all the CTE and everything like that. So that's the one thing that they're like, no.
They cannot play with that any longer. They got sued by former players, and then they don't want to get sued again. 15 years from now because they were doing lackluster. Okay. Aiden, my other options at running back or Miles Sanders, who is currently starting in the other RB spot. We either go to Chubb, Fournette. Wow.
Chase Edmonds. There you go.
Yeah. Chubb, Fournette, Ronald Jones, Chase Edmonds, or Kenyon Drake.
Chase Edmonds, for sure.
I would go Chase Edmonds. He's healthy. I would not go with all these options that you have. I would not pick Fournette or Ronald Jones unless you absolutely had to because you don't know which one is touches. I would go with Chase Edmonds.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless Arizona's playing a devious game and saying that Drake is, not healthy and whatnot, and he's going to pop out of nowhere and play. I'm with you guys. Edmonds, we talked about it a little bit earlier. Ronald Jones and Fournette, you're not sure who's going to get the bulk of the carries in that one. Ben, like you said, you're going with Ronald Jones this week over Fournette. Some people may think the other way. And again, we talked about Chubb just coming back. Yeah, Chase Edmonds in this game, like we talked about, Arizona, Buffalo going to be going back and forth over there in the desert. I think the game is. They're playing in Arizona, right? Yeah, so Chase Edmonds, there's your guy. And Kenyon Drake, just stay away from him. He's not going to play.
Yeah. And Drake had a limited practice, on Thursday, and he's questionable. He's being a game time decision. So to me, that kind of answers the question. I think you got to go with Chase Edmonds there.
Yeah, and unless, like I said, Arizona's trying to be old Bill Belichickian and play some over there, then go with Edmonds.
Yeah, try to be funny there. Yeah. All right. So we'll continue to answer the questions as they're coming through. One of the questions that I did write down on my notes, Josh Allen, if you had to pick, especially if you're in, a DraftKings league, would you pick Josh Allen or Kyler Murray? Yeah, I think based on the defenses, the Bills are a top defense. I think that, to me, that's why I picked Josh Allen over Kyler Murray. But I want to get you guys' thoughts on that.
You go first, Jason.
Okay, I actually agree with you. He can run. Not that Kyler Murray can, but he can run it in for touchdowns. Josh Allen, they're both going to have nice games. But you're right. If you're looking at the defenses, Buffalo's got the better defense, so more likely you would expect Josh Allen to have the bigger day. But again, Kyler Murray's got D-Hop. On the other side, there's John Brown, there's Diggs, and Christian Kirk, we said, could have a big day. But yeah, overall, the safer bet probably Josh Allen, who's 7 feet tall, and Kyler Murray's like my height. So yeah, I would probably go with that one.
Yeah, he's 5'9". Yeah, probably. So yeah, I would definitely go with that.
Yeah. So I agree. The safe bet's Josh Allen and the Bills defense, but Kyler Murray's putting up numbers with the Hopkins, Kirk, Edmonds, and then obviously the Cardinals defense is pretty good, but the Bills defense is much better.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
I agree. All right. Well, let's do a little pick 'em, and then we'll continue to answer the questions. Okay, we got one from another one from Aiden. I was scrolling through and saw someone asked about Allen Robinson. Do you mind answering that again and telling me if you think he'll play or not? It is tough because he is playing on Monday. You're right, man. You kind of answered the question a little bit there. It is tough because he is playing on Monday. Maybe that does give him a little bit more time to fully get healthy, but the official breakdown is that he was limited Thursday. As of today, he was still limited in practice, but he is expected to play. So assuming that he does play, he would be a wide receiver 2. But, that could possibly give him some more time.
Yeah, it's just scary when you don't know, especially when it's a Monday night game and you're like holding a slot for somebody. Unless you got a backup, that's in that game. That's a tough game to play, risky game to play right there. You know what I'm saying? If Allen Robinson's really not going to go, or if he's questionable going into Monday night, if it's Sunday, then you're a little bit safer. But now you got a slot open, and you may not have somebody to back him up.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so I would look at Mooney. We brought up Darnell Mooney earlier. If he's available, go and pick him up, stash him, because he could be useful. And the biggest thing is Mooney had 11 targets last week. Allen Robinson had 9, and Anthony Miller had 8. So for some reason, Mooney is being targeted. So I would say pick him up just in case Allen Robinson does not play. So then you got a backup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Nathan, you mentioned Jimmy Graham earlier.
Yeah,
can have a sweet game in this one too. Minnesota's defense, I don't know what happened overnight. Really, I mean, seriously, they were a good to great defense last year. They get, Yannick Ngakoue, then they trade him. It's like, what's happening over here?
Minnesota is like a messy team right now, and I think they need to start rebuilding. And they need to move on from Mike Zimmer, in my opinion.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
For Kirk Cousins too.
Yeah.
He ain't taking the damn Super Bowl.
No, and they paid him. They gave him $100 million guaranteed. They thought that he was the guy to give $100 million guaranteed.
I know, right? It's like, you like that? Yeah, you like that now. You sure like that?
Oh yeah, he likes that. He's going to the bank with his checks, with his game day checks. Oh, yeah, he definitely likes that. All right, let's go to a pick'em as we're going through the games. Also, any other questions? Make sure to put those in wherever you're watching and viewing in. Also, make sure to subscribe and click that bell so you can be on top of all the content that we drop here at BS3 Radio. All right, so we talked about this game earlier. Eagles at New York Giants. I'll kick it off. I'm going to say Eagles. They're going to be more in first place at 4-4-1, which is a horrible record because I got a tie. But I would go Eagles easy. Jason.
You think it's that easy, huh? I really don't, man, because I'm telling you, the Giants defense is underrated, and the Giants are in every game they play. People don't realize that because their record sucks. They're 2-7 or whatever it is, but they're within a touchdown of every game that they play. I like their defense. We know Carson Wentz is prone to not only injury but turnovers. So it's not cut and dry for me, man. I would actually lean toward the Giants in this game. I think they're getting hungrier. I think that Judge, their head coach, is really not getting credit for having a bunch of no-names for the most part rally around and make something happen. Again, Daniel Jones, he's the issue. You got to not turn the ball over, but I do like the Giants defense, and they can definitely make some plays and turn this game around. So I don't think it's that cut and dry.
Yeah, I agree. This is especially being a division game, anything can happen. And I'm going to go, if I were, I hate to say this, but the game is going to be close, but I think I'm going to take the Eagles at the end of the day because I hate to say this. I hate Philly. I hate Philly for a passion.
I hear you.
As a Cowboy fan, we hate Philly, but I think they're playing on a high level right now, and I think their defense will able to hold off the Giants.
Yeah, and Aiden makes a great point here. A lot of the mock drafts I've seen, the Vikings are taking either Trey Lane or Kyle Trask. I could see it at this point. You got to look towards the future, and Kirk Cousins obviously is not the future. And Kyle Trask is having a hell of a season.
Yeah,
I don't know where this kid. I don't remember him like blowing up last year, but this year for sure, it's almost like he hit the next level. So he's definitely on a lot of people's boards.
Sure.
And they scored 63, I think today.
Huh?
I think Florida scored 63 today, and a lot of that was on.
Wow, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's crazy.
Overtimes, like a whole bunch of overtimes. That was 63 straight up 4 quarters.
Let me go to it exactly. I believe that was 63 just straight up. They played Arkansas.
You know what? Speaking of surprises in college football, what about Indiana Hoosiers, man? They're balling.
Major
year.
Yeah, 63-35. They absolutely killed Arkansas. That was in 4 quarters.
Yeah.
Indiana straight up blanked. We talking about that. Indiana blanked Michigan State. Michigan State is, I don't know, man. They're in the toilet. And then Michigan loses 49-11 against Wisconsin. It's time. This thing did not work out. And I think, let's talk about this real quick since we jumped on this topic. I think Harbaugh is going back to the NFL. I think this just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I'm not the biggest college guy in the world. God bless you.
Thank you.
Sees the truth right there, man. But no, look, the one thing I do know at Michigan, you got to freaking beat Ohio State. And if you can't do that, they're not getting to no major bowl games. They've been to, a couple of little schmuck games here and there, whatever. But that's not, look, this is not what Michigan wants. It's not what they signed up for. I think he's a great coach, but he can't match up with these other guys. And you know what? His recruiting, overrated. He's not getting he's
not getting the guys.
He's not. No, he's not. So you're right. It's time to go. I'm not sure where to go, but it's not Michigan no more, man.
Where in the NFL will he fit best?
Jacksonville. Probably. Develops a quarterback, Trevor Lawrence. Maybe that might work.
And it could be the Chargers because the Chargers have had what is it? Not Vance Joseph, but what's the Chargers coach? Anthony Lynn.
I like a lot.
They've had him on the hot seat. Personally, I think they should give him another year because he's with the situation going on. But there's going to be some openings. The Texans, that's an opening. Romeo Cornell's not going to be the coach next year. So
hey, let me tell you something. If the Falcons don't hire Raheem Morris as their head coach based on what he's doing right now, then the Texans better grab him immediately.
Yeah, Raheem Morris is good. Yep.
What he, and he did his thing in Tampa for a while, but when you come around second time, sometimes, man, Atlanta again. We're not going to go gaga over, but they're 3-1 since he took over.
Yeah.
All right.
So
one name. Sorry. Well, I think this might not happen, but one name to watch out for the Chargers head coaching job: Bill Belichick.
Ooh.
Oh, wow! That'd be it.
Okay, wow. You threw me for a loop right there.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm just saying, warm weather. He can develop Justin Herbert, just what he did with Tom Brady. So I feel like I think Chargers plus. They have the Dodgers, Lakers, and the Chargers haven't sold out in a while. So if they get Bill Belichick as a head coach, they will sell out for sure.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, they will. Aiden with a question: who do you think will win the Heisman?
That's a good question.
I would say Trevor Lawrence. I think it is penciled in. I think they have already chiseled it in. I think he's going to get this award because he's been having a really good season. Now he's been out these couple of games with COVID, but I think that'll bounce back. And Kyle Trask is kind of like my second guy because like he just said, 28 touchdowns in 6 games.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous numbers right there.
He's went to another level, and when you go to that another level, you definitely got to be in the conversation. So I would say between those two.
But
I just want to say the question I would defer to you guys. Has he played enough to earn the Heisman this year, Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, that's true.
That's the only thing I wonder about.
He's based on what I'm reading, he is he's like 3-1 to get it. So I think he has played enough. Yeah. He looks like he's going to be back next week. So he's only missed 2 games.
Right.
Because of the COVID situation. But the 2 other names I'm really, really intrigued for the Heisman, Ian Book from Notre Dame and also Spencer Rattler from Oklahoma. I feel like these 2 players they're not getting talked enough. Ian Book is a hell of a quarterback. I don't know how he's going to translate to an NFL. I don't know about that. But in college football, he's a great college football player. And even Spencer Rattler, dude, Lincoln Riley knows how to develop quarterbacks. And the Cowboys should have went for him for head coach. But
yeah, I mean that I would have loved to have something different, like surprise us for once. Don't do the same old coaches that have been in the league for 20 years. Get somebody outside of the box, and who knows, if it fails, it fails. But if it's failing now, you don't know what you have on the other side of it. If you get, I thought Lincoln Riley would be possibly considered, and then also Urban Meyer, he said he's retired, but he's just waiting until things die down. In my opinion, I think he'll be back some way, shape, or form. So we'll see what happens there.
The thing with Dallas for you guys, which may be an issue, is that they don't fire their head coaches quickly.
No, they're not.
How long Garrett was around, and obviously Jimmy Johnson would have been around a little bit longer if he didn't have the pissing contest with Jerry Jones. Tom Landry was the head coach for 96 years. So but they're going to stick with McCarthy for a bit here, fellas. So changes for your sake, at least.
Once they go all in, they're all in, and they do not budge, and they do not change.
Jerry Jones needs to step down as GM, focus on being an owner, and hire a GM.
Exactly. I'd agree with that too. Aiden says, I have Justin Fields personally. I think he's the best athlete among the top options that could win it. And I saw a stat that he had 11 passing touchdowns on 11 completions. And Fields hasn't played as many games as some of the other guys. Fields is definitely up there, and he is the best athlete, running, passing, and he's going to light it up the remainder of the season. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to. I'm not even going to go to this game. I think we're all in consensus. Packers are going to win this, so let's move along.
Packers are going to win 75-0.
Packers are going to win big in that one. Yeah. Lions, Washington football team, which it sounds like Alex Smith is going to be starting. I can care less who wins, but if I had to pick one, I would say the Lions.
Yeah, I'm going Lions here.
I agree with the Lions. They're another one of those tricky teams, but yeah, I mean, I would go with the Lions in this one.
Yeah. All right, a more of an interesting pick: Texans at Browns. Browns 5-3, Texans 2-6. The main factors is going to be, I think, the quarterback play.
Yeah.
Which one is going to outplay the other one? Is it going to be Deshaun Watson or is it going to be Baker Mayfield? So I would go with I want to say Texans, but I'm leaning. I'm actually going to go with the Browns. I think the Browns are going to go 6-3.
Yeah, you see, this is the first year that I've ever said I thought the Browns are going to be a playoff team. I've never done it until now, and they're 5-3. I think they will go 6-3. The weather may be a bit of a factor over there. We know that Cleveland is going to run, and that's more successful, and I can count on that more than Deshaun Watson completing passes to Will Fuller down the field and stuff like that. And even though, like you said before, Ben, Brandon Cooks has popped up big time over the past 3 games. I just think the Cleveland running game is going to end up winning it more and more ball control offense.
Yep.
So I'll go that way.
I agree with you guys. I'm going with Cleveland also. Clean sweep. The Browns are they're playing much better football than last. They have a much different feel this year than from last year, I think. So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. Great question here from one. Yeah, Hawkinson or Andrews. This is a great question here.
Ooh, it is, guys. And Andrews is the better player. It's how many opportunities is he going to get? Bill Belichick, we know that he's going to take away your number one target. And, that is obviously Lamar Jackson. Yeah. But as passing the ball, he's not going to let Mark Andrews score a touchdown in this game, I don't think. So I would go with Hawkinson.
Yeah.
Surprisingly so.
I'm going with Hawkinson, too.
Okay. And Hawkinson is questionable.
Right.
I don't know to what degree that's going to affect him, but he has been getting quite a few looks as of late. So I think we got a clean sweep here. I think I'm going to go with Hawkinson as well because Andrews is tricky. He could or could not have a touchdown catch or any passes thrown to him because last week Snead was getting a lot of looks.
Yeah.
And then what's the other wide receiver they have? Obviously Hollywood Brown,
and
then depending on if they throw to yeah. So great question there. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, Buccaneers at Panthers, and I said this. I believe the Buccaneers are going to have a bounce back game. Tom Brady, I cannot remember the last time he's had 2 horrible games, so I think they're going to bounce back. I'm gonna go with the Bucs winning. I still think it's gonna be close though because Teddy Bridgewater's been playing so well, and that defense as well is gonna be after Tom Brady. But I'm gonna go Bucs though in the close one.
Teddy Bridgewater was beautiful last week, even though they lost the game. That play that he made on 3rd and 17, where he basically flew through the air. I mean, just remarkable and sacrificed his body. But I'm with you. When the Bucs have lost this season, and it's been 3 times. They've come back strong every time the next couple of weeks. So I'm with you on that one. I think the Bucs get, they're avenged themselves from the shit show they put on last week.
Yeah. I'm picking the Buccaneers too. Tom Brady, he's going to be ready to go tomorrow, and the whole team will. And I expect him to bounce back.
Yeah. And let's see. The only player on the Ravens I would feel comfortable starting is Lamar Jackson.
I agree.
Yeah. Honestly, he's going to get his. Everyone else is up in the air, and that's the truth. Great addition to that. Great addition to that question. All right.
I would consider the only other guy on that team, just real quick, would be J.K. Dobbins at this point. Maybe the only other guy, but he's right. Lamar Jackson is the only one you can count on. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, and Dobbins should be getting a lot of touches, man. He should be getting, honestly, all the touches because I think he's the most athletic, and I think he's the best back, that's there.
I agree.
I like Ingram, but I think Dobbins has that kind of next level ability. All right, another question: who would be better running back, ROS, Lindsey or McKissick?
You want first? Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on now. What's ROS? I don't know if I'm missing something there.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that one out too. ROS, I'm not sure what that is.
Here, let me see.
Is that return on investment?
Rest of season.
Oh, okay.
That means rest of season.
That sounds right.
Yeah, we got some acronyms going on here. I appreciate that.
Good one. Yeah, I learned every day.
To me, this depends on what's the status on Melvin Gordon. Is Melvin Gordon playing? Is Melvin Gordon going to be arrested? You had that possible DWI or DUI situation. So this is a rest of season. Yeah, that's it. This is an interesting question here. I would honestly go Phillip Lindsay. McKissick, I don't know how much you can truly trust the Washington football team. He did get a career high last week, but you got Gibson that's going to be thrown in there too. So, what do you guys think? I would say Lindsay though.
Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, I agree with Ben. I'll take Lindsay here, because I don't know what we're gonna get from McKissick, but yeah, I'm definitely going Lindsay.
Yeah, I'm just going to really echo what you guys said for the most part. Don't know what you're going to get with McKissick. I know they want to give Antonio Gibson the ball more and try to make him their featured back. And as far as Lindsay's concerned, I mean, even with Melvin Gordon there, he is getting his touches, and Melvin Gordon is unreliable. So yeah, for the long term, I'd go Lindsay, and also because I think that Denver's going to be fighting for things a little bit more, and Washington may try out other players toward the end of the season. I think that's why you would probably also go with Lindsay.
Yeah.
It's kind of hit or miss. It's kind of hit or miss when it comes down to the Washington football team. All right, Aiden, what are your thoughts on Godwin the rest of the season? I acquired him while he was still hurt, but do you think this value will be close to his value that he had last year?
Mm-hmm.
The thing with Godwin is, which you kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, you do have Antonio Brown there. And if you bring him in, you're going to throw him the ball, regardless, because just of his talent that he has. So I don't like Godwin the rest of the year because you got Evans there too. Evans going to get his, and Antonio Brown's going to get his, and Gronk's probably going to get a few passes too. That leaves Godwin kind of the odd man out, in this situation.
To piggyback off of you, man, Tom Brady and Godwin haven't had much time to even do their thing together because of his injuries and whatnot. To me, he's the best wide receiver on the team. So It's really a tough one. Yeah, I don't know. Antonio Brown probably actually in reality is better than Godwin. Look, let's not forget what he's done. I mean, even in the one game last year with the Patriots, him and Brady were killing it. So Antonio Brown actually may be the best wide receiver, but Godwin has got his future in front of him. So I hear you with what you're saying, Ben. It's like the ball is going to go round and round to all these guys, 4 or 5 players. The rest of the season, it's going to be hard for me to totally count on him. But if he's playing and healthy, it'd be hard for me to sit him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Nathan, you want to add on to that?
No, I agree with you and Jason. So
yeah, and also who's the slot guy? They got a guy in the slot that they use.
Scotty Miller.
So there's too many options for me that you just don't know who's going to be the guy that week. And Brady's gonna pass it around. He doesn't seem stingy, but last week it looks like he was kind of forcing it to Antonio Brown. So another great question, Aiden. All right, so as we go to the next game, Chargers at Dolphins. I really like this game. 2 rookie quarterbacks going at it. Both of them, the Dolphins are trending in a positive direction. And I think, really honestly, the Chargers are just trying to recoup this season and hoping they can at least go even, at least go 8-8, so they can keep. Hopefully, their coach can keep the job. I'm gonna go with the hot hand, the Dolphins. I got the Dolphins winning. I think in a close one. The Chargers have had so many heartbreaking losses. I don't see them. I just don't see them bouncing back this week.
Good.
Yeah, I got the Dolphins too. Tua's obviously 2 games in. You can already tell the hype with the team. So and plus their defense is playing well, and they're playing great. And all Sanders and Brian Flores, he's establishing himself as one of the great head coaches in the league. So I'm picking the Dolphins here, and they're going to be 6-3.
Yeah, guys, I'm with you, man. It's not easy either because, look, we're looking at the future of the NFL. We saw Tua versus, Kyler Murray last week, and now we're getting Herbert. It's going to be excellent, but I do like Miami in this game because they have got momentum. They got more momentum than any team in the league, I think, right now. They are feeling themselves, and the Chargers are like, how the hell can we keep losing, every game, whether it's them missing the touchdown at the end or Denver scoring, with no time left. They can't buy a win, man. It's just awful. I don't know if you blame Anthony Lynn for that. Maybe that does come down to coaching. I'm not sure. So maybe they need a change. But I like Miami in this game, guys. I'm with you.
Yeah, and last week, if they would have caught that pass at the end of the game, it could have went a different way. Like a lot of their games, they've lost by points, by 1 to 2 points. I mean, it sucks for them because they want to get a win. And I mean, they're trying like as hard as they can, but it just has not, turned out to.
Ben, speaking of that game, bro, dude, the guy knew he didn't catch the ball. Why the hell did he get up and start freaking out and cheering all over the place? Like he scored a touchdown, like they won. Like there's 17 cameras on you, man. You dropped. Yeah. He got up and just started going crazy, but
it came out. It came out. I mean, I understand you're frustrated. You want to display that frustration, but if you looked at the replay, the ball came out. Period.
Absolutely.
All right, Aiden. My current wide receivers are Tyreek Hill. That's great. Stephon Diggs, great. Tyler Lockett, great. Allen Robinson.
Wow.
Chris Godwin.
Damn.
Wow. Aiden, my man, you're doing something good right now. If you could rank them from best to worst, that would help as I'm planning on trading for a running back.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
All right. You go first, Jason.
Sure. All right. Tyreek Hill, number 1, obviously. There's not much of a question there. Stephon Diggs has been out of his mind. So as long as he's healthy, Josh Allen's going to keep throwing that hell out of the ball to him. So right there, Hill, Diggs. I would probably go Allen Robinson over Lockett because he is the number 1, and Lockett and DK will split time and will split receiving and whatnot. And right now, Chris Godwin, we're just not sure. So it's almost in the order that he's got it. Except I would go Hill, Diggs, Robinson, Lockett, and then Godwin. And that's not a knock against Godwin at all. It's just availability.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For me, obviously Tyreek Hill number 1. I'm putting Lockett 2, and then Diggs 3, and then Allen Robinson 4, and then Godwin 5.
Oh,
okay. I really do. When it comes to Lockett, he should be considered one of the best receivers in the game. He can do a lot for the Seahawks, and this guy, no, he doesn't get talked enough in the league, but. He is one of the best, in my opinion, slot receivers, or he can play outside too. So
man, it's only 5'10".
yeah, and it just depends on is Russell Wilson going to get him the ball, or is it going to be Metcalf's day? That's what it comes down to, because he's got the talent, but it's sometimes hit or miss as far as how many passes he'll get. So I will go obviously Tyreek Hill number 1. Stephon Diggs has been huge for Buffalo. I have to go with him at 2. I'm going to go Allen Robinson 3, so kind of similar to you. Then I'm going to go Lockett, because Lockett, it depends on how often he gets the ball. And then I think you got to go Godwin last, just because he's in a crowded He's in a crowded wide receiving core. So that's what I would say from best to worst. I think that answers that.
So, yeah.
Except it says, Aiden, I think you should trade Godwin or Robinson. I think you're right. I think you hit the nail on the head there because Diggs, Lockett, and Tyreek are locks.
Yeah.
The other two are questionable. There's a question mark there.
That's right.
Health-wise and everything else-wise.
You want locks going forward from here on out. Obviously, we're getting close to playoff time before you know it. So you keep the guys who are playing and you know what they can do.
Yeah.
Right. And a little bit of a side note, we got Terrence Crawford and Kell Brook just started, and it's on ESPN.
Yeah.
Let's go, Crawford.
He's so good, man, that guy. What a fighter.
Yeah.
What a fighter.
Yeah.
I ain't scared of no one, but I don't want to get in the ring with him.
Nah.
I picked Crawford to win, so let's hopefully.
Yeah. That's who I got too. All right, let's go to Raiders Broncos division rival game. The records do not matter. Any one of these teams can win it, and it comes down to these rival games. I'm gonna go with the Raiders though. At the end of the day, I think Drew Lock's been playing out of his mind this year as well. Another one of those young quarterbacks. But if I had to go, coaching and on down, I would have to go with the Raiders in this one.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Ben. I'm going with the Raiders, and obviously they're trending into the right direction with John Gruden, and they can still make a playoff. They're fighting for a playoff run here. So I think and their defense is. I really like what they're doing on defense, and obviously Josh Jacobs, a good running back, and then they have a good receiving and tight end core. So I'm going with the Raiders.
I officially did pick Denver on 3rd and 3 on our show, and I wasn't very confident about it. I'm still not because, again, it's in Las Vegas. I know, home field advantage you can kind of throw out sometimes, but I just get this feeling that Denver is like, yeah, we got a chance at this, even if they're talking about 16 teams and have an 8 in each conference maybe. So I think there's going to be a fire lit under them this week and somehow pull out a victory against the Raiders, who have been playing well. But then I look at that 16-point dud they put up against the Browns. I worry about that. Do they rely on Waller too much? Do they rely on Jacobs too much? And Jacobs has to come out at times. So that's where I get flipped around a little bit. I think that Denver, two-headed monster at running back. I know that Judy's hurt a little bit this week, but they get other guys to throw to. No fan, Tim Patrick. I think Denver just pulls this one out. I think it's one of those games. Divisional games, Ben, like you said, man, they're tough.
Yeah, and it could go either way. When it comes down to it. All right, so this is the marquee matchup. This is the game of the week. Bills at Cardinals. Josh Allen's been playing the best football of his career. The defense has been playing great. And then Kyler Murray has been playing great football on the other side. So this is a tough one to pick here. But if I had to pick one, I'm going to go with the odd hand again. I'm going to go with the Bills. I think they have proven that they are a real legit team, especially with beating the Seahawks, which I did not pick them. So I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta go with Bills tomorrow.
See, I think the Bills survived their little funk that they were going through it, for a couple of weeks there when Josh Allen wasn't playing his best and the defense wasn't. I think they got over that, and now they're just ready to go and take off and go, right and win this division. I love what Arizona's doing, but again, we talked about it. The Bills' defense weighs it out more, so the quarterbacks are going to both do their things. But in the end, the Bills' defense should make a play 2 or 3 more than the Cardinals in this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going with the Bills too. They're playing. Obviously, they're a much better team and. Obviously leading the division, so I got the Bills and Josh Allen. I really like him as a player. He reminds me of Big Ben a little bit, the way he plays in the pocket, and also the Bills' defense is nasty. So the Cardinals. I mean, obviously Kyler Murray is going to put up numbers, but I think the Bills will win at the end of the day.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be a big number day for both of them.
Yep.
So if you pick either one of them in fantasy, you should be good to go. Aiden says, not that he isn't already fun to watch, but if I could count on Lockett for 10 targets every week, he would be the most yards and touchdowns without a doubt. That's true.
Yep.
That is true. And you cannot count on him to get that every week. That is true.
Right.
It'll be every other week, but he could get a touchdown too. So it depends. It's between him and Metcalf, though.
I'll tell you, though, does anybody make more remarkable catches than Tyler Lockett?
That's the reason why I consider him
one-handed.
He's remarkable. And again, 5'10", and he does what he does. I got respect for him.
Yeah, true. All right, Saints playing the 49ers, playing in New Orleans. Here you go, Jason.
Oh, God, do I even have to say anything about this game? Just picture what happened to the Buccaneers times 5. It's going to be a rough day, guys. We're going to lose. Yeah, we'll put up some points at the end in garbage time, but the Saints are playing great right now. Damien, my partner on 3rd and 3, shout out to you. I hate you this week, but you're my brother. I love you in the end.
Yeah. I got this. Sorry, Jason, but I got the Saints. The Saints are obviously playing much better football, and Drew Brees. Drew Brees is obviously he's going to be ready. But speaking of the 49ers, the only way I see them winning this game if they they have to run the ball heavy. They cannot let Drew Brees have the ball. That's the only way I see the 49ers winning, running the ball. But at the end of the day, Drew Brees and their offense is too much firepower, and their defense will come out strong. So
yeah.
Unfortunately, I agree.
Yeah. Let me give a shout out to Miss Mocha Bella. She's tuning in on Facebook. Thank you for coming through. Let us know if you got any questions as we get towards the end here as we kind of wrap up. But thank you for coming through. Much love to you. Support as always. All right. I'm gonna go to Seahawks at Rams. This is that NFC matchup. And we talked about the Rams a little bit, and we talked about obviously Russ is Russ, and I think it's going to be a big day for the Seahawks. I really didn't have a lot of teams beating the Seahawks, but I definitely don't have the Rams beating them. But I think it's going to be a tough day. I think it's going to be a tough day for Russ. Obviously, who's going to block that bad man in the middle? Yeah. But I'm gonna go Seahawks though.
Go ahead, Nathan. I'll go after you.
All right. So we just hit the midnight hour here in Jersey. So hopefully, I got the Seahawks winning today. So I think obviously the Seahawks are playing great football, and both Tyler Lockett, like I said, Tyler Lockett, he's gonna have a big game, and then Russell Wilson. You expect him to have a big game as always. So and I think their defense will step up in this game too. Especially division game, anything can happen. So plus the Rams, to be honest, the Rams this year are too inconsistent. You don't know what you're gonna get from them. So I'm going with the Seahawks.
You know what? You guys are probably right in what you're saying. I'm gonna try to make this quick because I know we're running out of time. But I am actually going with the Rams in this game because I think things even out so much because the Rams do have that much better of a defense in Seattle. So they are gonna make stops. And Goff is going to throw the ball to Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, those tight ends, see if Darrell Henderson could do anything. High-scoring game, no doubt about it. But I think the Rams' defense can make a play or two. Russell Wilson's throwing a couple of picks now here and there. So he's forcing it because he's got nothing on defense. So it's all on him. Yeah. That's why I like the Rams this week.
That is a good point. He has uncharacteristically thrown 2 picks with 2 or 3 picks against the Cardinals. So when he's facing, formidable defenses, it could be some mistakes there.
Right, the Bills got right up in him, forced him to fumble, toward the end, and that's the same thing that the Rams could do with Aaron Donald.
Yeah. Aiden giving us some laughs right here. Rest in peace for the 49ers. They're so vulnerable because of injuries. Yeah, it's true. Aiden said, go ahead.
No, I was just saying it happens, man. Injuries happen, bro.
He said, I'm a Patriots fan, so we aren't going to do any better against the Ravens. I feel for you, Jason. Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Aiden.
Speaking of 49ers, real quick, I had Jeff Garcia on my show last week.
Oh, wow. How about that? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So if you guys didn't interview him yet, right? On 3rd and 3.
No, I haven't. I would love to actually.
No, I got you. I'll hook you up with that. I'll reach out to Jeff Garcia tomorrow and mention you guys, and I'll set up an interview for you guys. So he came on my show last week, and it was just an honor just to talk to him for like, you know what? He said 30 minutes, but the interview went for 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Wow. That means you did your job well.
Yeah, that probably means he was selling a lot of stories in too.
Yeah. I bet. Hey, man, that's awesome. If you're good looking out, brother. That's really cool.
I got you guys. So, yeah.
Good looking out, man.
I would say a consensus. We got the Ravens beating the Patriots and Steelers beating the Bengals.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
No.
We do have. Let's see. Oh, Aiden said he's a Patriots fan, so we got that in there. Shout out to my man Information Man show. He's on YouTube. He does a great job. Very great content. We got a question from Not Even Average. It says, Big Ben or Breeze? That's a great question right there.
Wow.
That is a great question.
I'm going.
I would go Big Ben. You're playing the Bengals, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go Big Ben too. I think that again, I think the Saints are going to go up. You know, Breeze may throw a couple touchdowns, but they're just going to start running and trying to kill the clock, you know, toward the second half. So I'd probably go Big Ben with a nice, clean game against Cincinnati's defense.
Yeah. All right. Aiden says, I'm starting Breeze because of the 49ers defense being so injured. Yeah, you're not going to lose, you know, either way. But if I had to pick one to have a monster day, I think I would have to go Big Ben. He's got so many targets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, let's see. I also have Mahomes on bye. Yeah, that's great. Having Mahomes is
what
you can start him the rest of the
year. What league are you in? Yes, your team is loaded.
How many teams is in this league? You must be in like a 5-team league.
Yeah, either that or you're a freaking genius, man. One of the other.
Or you set the draft time at like midnight on a Wednesday. Yeah, you were the only one there, you know. But yeah, Aiden, you should be good. You should be good starting Breeze. I know that's your only option, so I think you're good there.
Yeah, it's not a bad start.
And Information Man, he's in California. He said 49ers are not the team they need to be because of injuries, but they will be back. Year done. Sleep on them. Yep. He says, cool.
Come back.
Yep. Big Ben. He says Big Ben, yes, to that question earlier. And the last game of the day is the Monday night game. Vikings at Bears. Again, this is another one of those games I can care less, but it's on Monday night. So Bears going with Foles, it looks like again.
Mm-hmm.
Vikings have Dalvin Cook, which has been a monster. So I gotta go with Dalvin Cook and the Vikings in this one.
Go ahead, Nathan.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, and I mean obviously the Bears defense is good and they're playing great football too. And actually, you know what? The Vikings are heading into the wrong direction, so I'm going with the Bears. I think the Bears will hold up. Their defense will hold up, and Nick Foles, I think he's going to have a great. I mean, obviously, Nick, you don't know which Nick Foles you're going to get, but I think he'll have a good game tomorrow. All right, today.
Well, if he has Allen Robinson, then that'll help more. But this is tough. Look, if Dalvin Cook is able to run the ball like he's been, and I don't think he's going to have that kind of day, then I got to go Minnesota and Justin Jefferson. I really like what's going on, but Chicago's defense is so tough. That's why Minnesota's got to play physical, man. They're going to have to play really, really tough. And you're going to have to get Madison in there also. You got to give Dalvin Cook some breathers and stuff. Right. So they need to stick to their running game, run the ball 30 times or more, and they'll win this one. Minnesota.
Yeah. All right. Aiden says, I think Breeze will be safer. Ben is 100% because he hurt his knee. And you're right. That is a great point.
True.
And Breeze is getting older too. Breeze is looking like it's almost like the Peyton Manning effect.
Yeah,
where he's starting to skip balls and not. You can tell his arm is starting to get tired. But you're good. You're good starting Breeze. Breeze is got all the targets in the world. So
yeah. And the one thing that's great about those two quarterbacks is that they are protected. Their offensive lines, especially Pittsburgh, will protect Big Ben all day long, and they do the same thing for Breeze. So they don't let them get hit much.
Yeah. All right. We got one more question, and you can definitely keep it coming if you guys got to go. I definitely understand.
Man, I love this stuff, bro. Are you kidding me?
Cool. Let's keep it. All right. One more question. Who would I start of the three? Burrow, Cam, or Baker? That's a good one right there.
Yeah, I think he had a misprint. It can't.
Yeah, Cam. I think he meant Cam.
It should be can't though. Apostrophe T. Cam, not against the Ravens. That's a mistake right there.
Yeah, not Burrow.
Yeah, Baker might be the best one. Again, he may throw a couple of picks to Houston, but again, we're looking at big points in this game. So where there are points, there are quarterbacks. I'll go that way. I'll go Baker.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Baker too. And with them playing against the Texans, which are not a good defense, yeah, I would have to go there. And breaking news, Crawford just knocked out Kell Brook. It wasn't a knockout, it was a stoppage.
Yeah. All right. So TKO.
Yeah, they called it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I love it. My boy can fight, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
But I got Drew Brees also.
Okay. All right. All right. It is a 10-team league. We all drafted in person. Really?
Wow. Did you blindfold them or put something in their ear? Damn, Aiden, good for you, bro. But I don't know how you did that, unless they're all children in your league, like 3 and under.
Hey, great job, Aiden.
Unbelievable! Wow,
great job. I started Teddy B in my DraftKings. Is that a good pick? Says Marco Bella. I think. Who are they going up against?
They're going against the Bucks at home.
Yeah, at home. I think that's a good value pick, and hopefully you probably used, maybe you used the rest of that on Dalvin Cook or someone. But I think it is a good pick. Teddy's been playing well this year, and I think he's going to get his.
He's been surprising people with his throwing, man. He's been putting up points. I've spot started him. I got Aaron Rodgers in one league, Matt Ryan in the other. I've spot started him twice, and he's put up over 20-something points for me each time. So Teddy Bridgewater, yeah, the Bucks have a good defense, but look what happened last week, and look what's happened. Nick Foles put up 21 points against him. So I think Teddy Bridgewater is an excellent start.
Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater, for me, same here. I agree. Teddy Bridgewater is having a great year with the Panthers, and he deserved all that money. What he did with the Saints when Drew Brees was out, and he's proving himself that he can still play in the league, and I have tons of respect for Teddy Bridgewater. He overcame a lot in his career, and he's proving it right now. So
sure.
He overcame, almost losing his. Then he almost lose his leg.
Yeah.
That weird injury like Alex Smith had. So yeah, I think you're good. He had 33 points against Kansas City.
Yeah.
In Kansas City. So I think he'll be able to do what he needs to.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, he was talking about Cam, not even average. I have made quite a few trades. Okay. So my draft turned out to be pretty bad, actually. Drafted Saquon and Drake. Wow.
Oh, well, you made trade
in rounds 1 and 2, so I had to trade a lot, but it worked out. Only 5 and 4 as of now, trending up. Yeah, you should be good.
Yeah, man.
That's good.
Yeah, you made some good trades. Set yourself up nice, Sid.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all saw the previous comment, but it was a 10-team league. We all drafted in person. Yeah. Great job, man. That's being a team manager. That's what fantasy football is about. If it turns out that you got a ton of injuries, what do you do to bounce back? What do you do to try to figure out?
And they said his first two picks. So that's an excellent job out of you, man. 10 teams. Yeah, I'll give it up to you, bro. Good for you, Aiden.
Yeah. All right. Well, if there is not any other questions, thank you guys for tuning in tonight on Facebook, on YouTube, on Periscope. We'll be back next week. We may have more people on, we may not, but it'll be here, right here on BS3 Radio, YouTube. So make sure you can stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe. Also, click that bell. Put any more questions in if you got any. We'll stay here until we get to we're out of questions. But Nathan, what do you have coming up, man, next week?
So before we get to that, I just sent your page, your Damien's page actually to. I don't think you have Instagram, right?
I do, but I don't ever use it, bro.
So I sent Damien's page to Jeff Garcia. So I told him that I mentioned your name in there too. So for the 3rd and 3 podcast, I sent that to Jeff Garcia. I'll let you know what he says. And then Ben, I sent your page to Jeff Garcia also if you want to interview him too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah,
good look.
That's right there. Appreciate that.
So the king of interviews, man. 600 interviews now.
Yeah, I'm over 603 episodes.
Way to go, bro. Yeah, every day I see you putting in that work, man, for real. I'll give it up to you right now. You go for it. You do your thing, man, and I got your back.
Thank you so much. But I really appreciate that. And you guys keep up the great work too. I've seen your stuff, and you guys are killing it too. And so you asked me what to expect for this week coming up. Actually, I got 2 interviews on Monday with Michael Lenore, the 2020 NBA draft prospect. Ben interviewed him, and then also after that, I have Grady Diaz. She's a well-known sports journalist from. I think Corny interviewed her too. ESPN, WNBA. She worked for them, and I have both of them on Monday, and then Tuesday. I'm still looking for a guest on Tuesday, and then I have someone on Wednesday, and then Thursday. Everybody should be tuning in for this one. I got Chris Fowler coming on Thursday.
That's a big one right there.
Game day. So I'm really looking forward to that. Actually, he called the Michigan game today against Wisconsin with Kirk Herbstreit. So they were on TV. So I said, "Oh, look at that! I'm interviewing him on this Thursday coming up." So
cool.
So he's coming up Thursday. I'm still looking for a guest on Friday, but I'm currently working on some big things. I'm always hustling, reaching out to people, and I'm still working on getting TO. That's tough. I'm still trying to. I'm working on it. But I interviewed his co-host already from their podcast, so hopefully, yeah. Hopefully that should get you in the door because you already got his co-host. So now from there, you just gotta work on trying to get the guy. But I know he's probably busy. Yeah.
So, but I think you'll be able to get it though, man. Yeah. You grind. Thank you, Aiden, for tuning in. Before I go to you, Jason, Mocabella says I need a running back. I chose Gollum for the Giants, good or bad. We talked about that earlier. I think that is good. He's going to get pretty much all the touches. So,
yeah, he's going to get the touches. So yeah, I'm with you guys definitely. We talked about that a little bit earlier. How many points he'll get, we'll see. But going up against a fair defense, definitely. So, he's the one with the ball in his hands.
Yeah. All right, Jason, what you got coming up this week?
Well, I don't know. I'm supposed to follow Nathan. I don't know what you. I mean, geez, you should have gone to me first next time, Ben. Right? Nah, man. But, we're doing our thing. 49ers forecast will be going on next Tuesday. So we'll do that, even though it's not as much fun to do that. And I'm looking to get maybe Tom Rathman on, hopefully. That might be the week after, actually. But 3rd and 3 podcast on Wednesday nights. We get you guys ready for everything with Nikki Gist, and y'all know Damian Adams, of course. So that'll be going on Wednesday night. We throw in our fantasy and all that fun. So, yeah, we'll be there 10 o'clock Eastern time doing our thing as always, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so where can everyone find you guys on social media or your website, and they can reach out to you?
You go first, Jason.
Yeah, thank you. Because I don't do much of the Instagram, but Twitter is basically my thing. That's where I do all the communication. This is how I meet you guys and everything. And, I got family outside my family over here now because of this. So at Sports Profit one on Twitter, and the profit's not profit for money. It's prophecy, seeing into the future. So Sports Prophet, the number one, hit me up. And also at Third and Three Podcast on Twitter. That's where you can hit up me, Nikki, or Damien. Yeah, get at us. We love having the conversation. We talk fantasy. We just go NFL nuts all the time. We love it. We love it.
Yes, you can find me on Facebook, Nathan Ramachandra, Twitter, the NR Hour _, Instagram, the NR Hour _ same thing, and you can find me on YouTube. LinkedIn is, I go big. I'm heavy on LinkedIn too, so you can find me in all social media formats, and so I'm just grateful. I'm over 603 episodes now, and continuing to work hard here. And by the way, you guys, we're all a podcast family, and you guys are killing it too. And I'm just grateful to meet all you guys, connect with all you guys, and especially during this tough time, it's really important to network and connect with people here. And that's what we're doing. And we're telling people around the world, you guys can do this too if you put in the work. So that's what we're doing, put in the work. And but we gotta actually, I gotta ask Ben this one question. Are you working on some big things too?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm doing something called BS3 coaching. So I'm helping people getting into podcasting. So those of you out there that want to get into podcasting, or you want to take your podcast to the next level, I'm doing something called BS3 coaching. I'll put the link. Actually, I'm gonna do a commercial. I'm gonna play that once we're at the end, so you guys can see the thing. But yeah, I'm looking to help people improve their podcast or get into podcasting. BS3 Radio is growing, so the shows we have now, and we're looking for more shows. It doesn't have to be sports. It could be music. It could be shoes. It could be dogs, cats, like whatever it is you want to talk about. We're open. We're open to whatever, giving you the platform to talk. So yeah, that's what I have. I'm doing more of the YouTube thing now. I had 200 episodes for my weekend wrap-up show.
Congrats.
Yeah. So that was big. That was my last episode. So I'm gonna be going more so into the live streams and doing kind of what we've been doing with the fantasy show and doing other reviews and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have coming up this week. It's also my wedding anniversary.
Oh wow, man! All right,
Wednesday. So yeah, we've been married for 15 years.
Wow.
Coming up. So yeah, it's that's a special day. Yeah, I'm very, very thankful for that. But yeah, man, it's been a great night, man, doing these fantasy football shows. I didn't know what type of feedback, but man, the questions has been
awesome.
really
Questions are awesome. Yeah.
Aiden, not even average. I love the YouTube names too, because they're obviously they're gonna be creative. But each and every person that popped in a question, thank you guys for coming through tonight. Thank you too for coming on. Like I said, we're gonna keep this thing going each week. It'll be at the same time. You can join in with your questions.
Also, I gotta say this real quick. Hold on. Let's go Cowboys. We got the win this week with the bye week. And also, the only thing that's going on for the Cowboys so far this year is only the cheerleaders. That's it.
That's the only exciting thing on that. That is it. That is it. Yeah, but thank you guys so much for coming on. I'm gonna leave you with the BS3 Radio commercial. I'm going to play that at the end of each show so that you guys can see that. And if you need help, reach out. It's bs3coaching.square.site. And thank you guys.
Yep.
I would listen. After what you heard out of these two guys tonight, I can vouch for them 1,000,000,000%. Yo, hit up that coaching thing. Follow these guys. It's the real thing. Look, a lot of people out there like to call themselves podcasts and think they're doing a wonderful job. And God bless you, go for it. But when you put the work in, like these two guys put the work in, it's work. You got to go for it, and you can make it happen, like Nathan said before, but you can't sit back and do nothing. You got to make it happen. And when I speak to you guys and we do this and we have a podcast, you guys actually make me better. You make me a better host when I do my show. So I thank you for that as well, man.
Yeah. So Nathan and Jason, make sure you guys have a good night.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week, and we'll keep this thing going.
All right.
Great to do.
Peace. All right. Hi, my name is Ben Sutter III, and I'm founder and owner of BS3 Radio. I've been podcasting for 5 years, and with BS3 Radio, it has grown to over 46,000 listens, and downloads. I've helped hundreds of people to start a podcast by giving them the knowledge, tools, and confidence to be successful. Now I'm here to help you do the same with BS3 coaching. So let's build a successful podcast. I will be your podcast coach. We'll be able to work one-on-one. I won't be giving you a booklet and just telling you to look over it, but we'll be working one-on-one, side by side, to either help build up a successful podcast or to take your podcast to the next level. So click the link above or below to check out the pricing. I look forward to working with you, and God